Writers Guild of America strike. That's over. Apparently, it's over. Yes, finally it is over.
Nothing is over!
Union leaders voted to end the strike.
This one is over!
At 12:01 a.m. Pacific time yesterday, after 148 days. This marks the second longest strike in the Guild's history, as the 1988 strike went on for 153 days.
So both the actors and the writers strike now officially over?
No. The SAG-AFTRA
what in the hell?
remains on strike.
It's not over! Nothing is over!
That one's still not over.
That's not over!
Will you? They are going to continue negotiations on Monday.
Okay.
From what I understand.
But my guess is it will terminate fairly quickly.
I hope so.
We hope so!
On Tuesday, the board of the WGA West and Council of the WGA East voted unanimously to recommend the new 3-year minimum basic agreement. Members will vote to ratify the contract between October 2nd and October 9th.
You know, it's funny. SAG joined in on the strike after the writers went on strike. So now it's the actors that are holding out.
Yep. So the new contract for the Writers Guild includes protections against artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Better streaming residuals, higher minimum pay rates, and minimum staffing requirements for writers' rooms as well.
And free tequila, Kathy.
Angelina Jolie opened up to Vogue about her divorce from Brad Pitt and how her children saved her in a cover story that was published yesterday. The Maleficent star shares, of course, 6 children with the Fight Club actor.
Was it published in Beaver magazine? Because if not, I didn't see it.
It was not in Beaver.
Oh, okay.
It was only in Vogue. Maddox, Pax, Zahara, Shiloh, and Vivienne and Knox are the kids, just to remind you.
What happened to Worf?
So she said, I was 26 when I became a mother. My entire life changed. Having children saved me and taught me to be in this world differently. She said, I think recently I would have gone under it in a much darker way had I not wanted to live for them.
She was predisposed to sort of be a dark individual.
Yes.
Sort of had that. You remember she had the vial of Billy Bob Thornton's blood around her neck.
Yeah. So, but she switched gears big time.
She did. She became eternal.
Yep. Pitt and Julie announced their divorce in 2016. She got candid about how this affected her and her children. She said, I'm still understanding who I am at 48. I guess I'm in transition as a person. I don't feel like I've been myself for a decade in a way, which I don't want to get into.
You mentioned the word transition. It's pretty wild, Steve, because I've noticed it, especially like, you know, in my
when
own
I became a mother?
No, in my own personal life. That transition. It's
for you.
No, for mothers. No, I'm still the same idiot I was, 30 years ago.
Right.
But I've seen it. And Press, I don't know if you think Rochelle is different than she was, let's say, in January of 2000.
It's hard to say. I don't remember seeing a transition. I just knew she was way more adept at it than I was immediately. So I don't know. I didn't see her like change a whole lot.
Yeah, because I think it's so natural.
Yeah.
It's such a natural evolution.
It's how we're wired. Yeah. It's how you perpetuate the species.
Yeah.
Those things kick in. Yeah. It's amazing all the things that are subtle things that happen that are meant to happen by natural design.
Yeah. So she went on to say that we had a lot of healing to do and we're still finding our footing. 2 new awards are going to be presented. At the 81st Golden Globe Awards on Sunday, January 7th.
They're going in the wrong direction, Preston.
1 new category, Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement, will include 8 nominees from, quote, among the year's highest earning and or most viewed films that have gained extensive global audience support and produced exceptional creative content.
This is basically their fan favorites.
Yeah, and this is for superhero movies and things like that.
So they can't turn their snooty foreign noses up at it.
I think it's
I'm fine with that.
That's not a bad idea. More and it's
a good idea.
And what it might do in turn is have more people tune in to see if
that's exactly what it'll be. You know that if you have more skin in the game, as it were, with things that you've seen, you're more likely to watch the award shows. And the award shows have been cratering over the past couple of years.
More specifically, films will be eligible if they've achieved a box office receipt total gross of $150 million, of which $100 million must come from the U.S. domestic box office, and or obtain commensurate digital streaming viewership recognized by trusted industry sources.
Exactly.
Yep. So essentially, it's got to make a lot of money.
That's it.
Golden Globes voters will then determine the nominees and winner based on excellence.
Excellent.
Another new category, best performance in stand-up comedy on television.
Well, that's wild.
We'll recognize 6 nominees who gave traditional stand-up comedy performances of at least 30 minutes other than roles in television series, limited series, anthology series, and motion pictures made for television. So essentially a stand-up special.
So
they
had a category for comedy variety under which that would have fallen, but I guess now they're isolating that.
And they're really zooming in on stand-up comedy as opposed to like sketch comedy and things like that.
How do they I don't know how do you
It's a basketball game.
well no but like how do you keep score?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like what is it?
It's all based on
what do you mean?
On the voters.
It's okay, so
yeah.
All right. I guess. Well, how do you keep score with everything else? You know,
it's all subjective.
Yeah,
Why is one person a better actor than another?
Yeah.
Right.
But this one is going to be interesting just because there are so many stand-up specials.
Yeah.
Well, you could be looking at potential Golden Globe winner Burt Kreischer.
Totally.
It's quite
that's it.
conceivable.
And we have a lot of comedians on this program,
yeah.
and I will guarantee you some people that have crossed through the studio and people that we call friends will end up with one of those statues.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any more stand-up specials that are released more than movies or TV shows. I think it's
What do you think?
comparable.
What do you think is the issue?
No. Nick was saying that there's so many specials that are released on a yearly basis, but I mean, so there's a ton of TV shows and a ton of movies.
There are more movies, I think, than stand-up specials.
I just meant for the new category.
Yeah, there's just going to be lots to choose from.
Yeah.
So, which is cool. And that's why they're doing it. There's a lot and they want people to tune in. Yeah, obviously, is what it's about. All right, on to Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas news. Until now, the name of their second daughters remained publicly unknown, and according to documents for a September 26th report,
It's Sojo, by the way, Preston.
no, her name. Oh, you mean the Sophie and Joe?
Yeah.
The name of the baby is Delphine.
Delphine?
Delphine.
I've heard that.
Delphine, or is it Delphine?
I'm not sure.
Delphine is a
The French name.
yeah.
So the 1-year-old infant joined big sister Willa on July 14, 2022.
Will you shut up?
The intensely private former couple, now locked in an infamously volatile custody dispute, had managed to keep Delphine or Delphine's name out of the public eye until the custody filing obtained by Page Six revealed it. The filing came as Sophie asked a judge to put a pause on their custody case. She filed papers last week alleging that Joe had refused to hand over their daughter's passports. Now, I also have this little tidbit for you.
Is this a little lead that you got?
Yeah.
Investigative reporter?
Taylor Swift seems to have loaned her New York City apartment to Sophie and her kids.
Oh, man.
The Game of Thrones star and her 2 daughters were photographed leaving the singer's Tribeca townhouse on Wednesday morning.
That thing is supposed to be sprawling.
She looked content as she smiled despite the big change in her marriage and wore a black sweatshirt and beige shorts. A report by Page Six claims that Taylor has loaned the space to her pal. The doting mother, who appeared to wear her wedding ring,
Interesting.
carried one of her girls and had her hair pulled back. At one point, she appeared to load 2 packed suitcases and a portable crib into a vehicle before going back into the apartment. And she also slipped into her light blue Nike sneakers to cover her feet during the outing.
What's going on?
Wait, I just gotta go back for a second. Did you say her hair was pulled back?
Her hair was pulled
Wow.
back.
All right.
yeah.
Okay. I just
That's
want to
it.
make sure
Well,
you got that right.
You know what that is. That's a big F you to him.
Huh.
Yeah. So anyhow, now so Tay is lending her spot to Sophie.
Sojo.
So Sojo.
Just so, not the Joe.
While they're going through all this. So
Maybe so too.
David Diggs and Emmy winner Emmy Raver Lapman posted an announcement on Instagram. The couple, who both performed in the original Broadway cast of Hamilton, revealed that they are expecting their first child together.
When you saw Hamilton Case, was it the original cast?
Oh no, I saw it in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So no.
You saw it with Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
Raver Lampman wrote, "We can't wait to meet you" in the post. Diggs portrayed both Thomas Jefferson and Marquis de Lafayette in the hit Broadway musical, while Raver Lampman was a member of the original ensemble. She later took on the roles of Eliza Schuler and Angelica in touring productions of the show. So she played both of them at one time or another.
Okay.
So maybe while it came through Philly, She was the one who we played either.
It's quite possible.
Because I saw that too, and maybe she either played Angelica or Eliza.
You know, it's funny because I watched the stage production that was on Broadway.
Yeah.
And I've seen that so many times that like I feel like, oh well, yeah, that's the cast that I saw in Philadelphia.
You just get so used
I
to
have
it.
no idea who I saw in Philadelphia.
It was Jervis.
God, those people can sing.
Oh my God!
It's just, if you've never seen it, it will blow you away. The duo's Hamilton castmates and collaborators from other projects congratulated the couple on the news. Tom Hopper, who plays Lampman's brother on The Umbrella Academy, wrote, "Whoa, let's go team." And Kristen Bell, who co-starred with Diggs in Central Park before Lampman took over her role, commented, "Excuse me, so happy for you guys." So everybody's happy.
Such happiness.
Leah Remini is thrilled to see all of the King of Queens memes going around following the show's 25th anniversary.
Is that why that's happening? Because I've seen the Kevin James thing. It keeps popping up.
Who started it was Patton Oswalt. Because he was on that show. So he started posting these things and it's sort of celebrating the 25th anniversary. People were picking up on Patton's post.
It was trending on Twitter or X, whatever you refer to.
And Leah was enjoying it. And then Ben Stiller started saying some nice things about his dad because of things that Patton posted. So it was a really cool celebration of that show.
This comes just days after Remini and James both paid tribute to the CBS show on social media. She had written that she felt at home on the set of the truly special show. And James wrote, "I'm so incredibly blessed to have taken this ride with the insanely talented Leah Remini and Jerry Stiller. I love you both so much, and thank you to the greatest fans in the world. Love you." So that's why that was making the rounds. Yep. Dana Carvey and David Spade honored their late friend Phil Hartman with a new 2-part episode of their Fly on the Wall podcast.
I'm going to have to listen to that.
Yeah, Hartman died 25 years ago. Not that long ago in a tragic murder-suicide. His wife, Bryn, shot him in the head while he slept and then shot herself.
I remember this. I remember when it happened. I was actually in a recording session and the news came in and I freaked the F out. I was like,
what?
How does Phil Hartman...
Yeah.
And just blew me away. And, but there is a documentary, I think he did it, about the tumultuous relationship with her. Oof. And you could just see things were derailing and people were telling him this is really volatile. And when they learned that she had a gun and she was acting this way and that he should be really, worried. And it just, all those signs were there and it just ended up in the worst possible scenario.
Spade reflected on how much of the cast of Saturday Night Live admired Hartman. He said they would talk about Phil without prompting. He said Will Ferrell, Bill Hader, Alec Baldwin, they all talk about how he was such a brilliant sketch player. He said everyone remembers how great he was. I mean, he could be the game show host or the lead, or he could do those thankless parts like the elevator man or the dad and just come through with the extra laughs.
It didn't matter. There's a YouTube channel that seems to have gotten a hold of a lot of their legendary auditions. We hear what. So I watched Phil Hartman's audition.
I'd love to see that.
He was genius. Dana Carvey's genius.
Please send that to me, Steve.
Yeah.
I love Phil Hartman, and so I married an axe murderer.
Oh, Vicky.
It's just it's a throwaway role, and he's brilliant in it. And if he had only ever done just The Simpsons, he still would have had an incredible career. But for me, one of the most underrated SNL characters of all time is Unfrozen
Caveman Lawyer.
Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer. The way that he portrayed this guy.
I'm just a caveman.
Holy crap. And I believe that Phil once said that was his mom's favorite character, which made me happy to see because it's so silly and so ridiculous, and he'd be on his cell phone. I don't know.
He's in a suit, but he would do, and he says, the signs are all pointing to his innocence. But
I don't understand your technology.
Your bizarre technology.
It's so damn good.
By the way, Carvey said his range was extraordinary, and that's why he was called the Glue. The first part of the tribute episodes include former SNL stars Julia Sweeney, Kevin Nealon, and the second part has Will Ferrell, Bill Hader, Alec Baldwin, Mike Myers, Conan O'Brien, John Lovitz, Robert Smigel, and Sherry O'Terry.
So I'm definitely checking that out.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good one. Let's see. How much time we got left here? I got time for a couple more things here. Let's go with this. Deadline report said The Daily Show is scheduled to return to the air October 16th. The show will continue to feature guest hosts, with a permanent host expected next year. According to Variety, producers were leaning towards Hassan Minhaj, but are widening their search following the New Yorker article published about the comedian. Minhaj faced criticism after revealing in the piece that he uses hyperbole, exaggeration, and fiction in his stand-up routine. So I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make, but apparently they're looking for a wide variety of people.
I'd be curious if they're buying themselves some more time because the ratings actually went up during this rotating host thing.
Okay.
And there's nothing that says they couldn't stick with it.
Yeah. So this is good. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. According to the Hollywood Reporter, people are tuning in to the controversial dating show Naked Attraction. The 7-year-old British show is on top of the streaming platform's most popular series list after it became available to subscribers last week on Max, featuring full frontal nudity. Singles choose people to date based solely on their naked bodies. The View co-host Sonny Hostin said on Monday's episode of the talk show, I'm embarrassed to admit my husband and I got obsessed with this show. We binged it yesterday, and I learned things I have never heard of in my life. It was one of the most fascinating things that I've ever seen.
You did as well.
Like we said yesterday, was when we were doing the live broadcast in London, and Shell and I were watching TV at night. This show came on. We're like, what in the hell is this? And we loved it.
Yeah.
If you guys get a chance,
well, I'm going to check it out over the weekend.
Watch it.
Yeah,
I want to get your opinion on it and see what you thought of it. Today reports that Deal or No Deal spinoff is in the works at NBC. Magic Mike star Joe Manganiello has been tapped.
I hate that goddamn name.
To host the game show.
Yeah.
Aptly titled Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, that's what was missing.
Since it will be set on an island.
Yeah.
Bizarrely, it's a stupid show. I liked it.
Did you?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's random. You got to make these choices. And we even had like a home, you play on your PlayStation version.
You'd play that
game of it. Yeah, it's bizarrely compelling in some ways.
The host was good. Harry Mandel
He was
did a
great.
good job moving it along, and it also had those 80 briefcase models or whatever. Yeah, Meghan Markle was one of them.
Contestants will compete for cash in a season-long, fully immersive competition, according to a press release. And then one final thing: the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors declared Edward James Olmos Day in the county on Tuesday, honoring the actor, best known for his Oscar-nominated role in Stand and Deliver and the crime series Miami Vice.
Battlestar Galactica.
The supervisor, Hilda Solis, said Edward James Olmos has achieved extraordinary success as an actor, director, and producer. He's a local legend whose talent has brought him attention worldwide, but it's also his work as a devoted humanitarian that has captivated the hearts of many. And it's my honor to move forward this proclamation during Hispanic Heritage Month so that Latinos everywhere can celebrate his contributions to our community. So he was born in East L.A., earned a degree in sociology and criminal justice and at East Los Angeles College, but acting became his passion. And he had appeared before his star really rose. He did all the shows, Steve, like Kojak and Policewoman and
ton of them.
Starsky and Hutch and all that stuff. But in 1988, Stand and Deliver hit, and boom.
And Miami Vice, he was their captain.
Yep, Stand and Deliver is
huge.
Still one of my favorites.
It's a great movie, and he's the dad in the Selena movie, too.
I never saw that.
Oh, it's really good.
With Jennifer Lopez?
Jennifer Lopez is excellent in the movie.
Okay.
And he's really good as the father, but... it's sitting there, Preston, the Battlestar Galactica series. I know you know how good it is. There's just so much to watch that's out there. Once you're looking for something, it's well worth seeing.
I never watched all of it. I watched some of it, and you and several people whose opinions I trust told me it's one of the greatest TV shows they've ever seen. And so it's still there, and it'll still be great, and I'll eventually get to it, I believe. So.
Yeah, or not. But, I mean, there's so much that keeps coming along. Damn it.
All right, we're ready for clips. No One Will Save You is about a girl living in solitude who is faced with having to fight aliens. In this clip, director Brian Duffield talks about how the main actress, Caitlin Dever, helped him pull off the thriller with zero dialogue. I'm doing this here, Casey?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
My goal was always that it wasn't the coolest thing about the movie, and that it's a cool part of the movie, but it's, we're able to pull it off because we have a lead performance that's absurdly good. And I think it's more, for me, it's more about Dever being an insane actress than it is about no talking or whatever.
It's streaming now on Hulu. Steve, what was the show you were saying the other day that had like 8 words?
That's
That is this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was about 80% of the way through the movie. I watched it over the weekend, and I realized they're not. There's been no dialogue, and it was that compelling that so. I say it this way: take the final scene in Signs in a farmhouse, and that's how this movie starts. And I don't want to tell you anything more about it, but they're right. Her performance is sensational.
And you liked it?
I really liked it.
Okay.
I really liked it. And it's meant to make you go, "What the hell?"
Okay. All right.
What's it called again?
No One Will Save You.
Okay.
And it's on Hulu. I might watch that this weekend.
After Selena.
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah.
All right, next clip. Here we go. The new mystery movie, The Kill Room, is about a hitman who teams up with an art dealer for a money laundering scheme.
And this is the kill room, and this is the bathroom.
In this clip, director Nicole Peone, I think, talks about working with Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson.
The scenes between Uma and Sam, I mean, I was saying in the last interview, like the takes were so playful and so brilliant, and I could see like both Uma and Sam ping-ponging back and forth in a way that was very playful, and I just was sort of in awe watching them do it.
I don't think I want to see it.
The Kill Room is out in theaters tomorrow. I love that Michael clip.
I don't think I want to see it.
Maya Hawke's in this one, and I think you had a clip earlier in the week, Preston, with Ethan Hawke talking about Maya Hawke or vice versa.
No, it was Maya Hawke, and we were talking about Ethan Hawke.
So
and her brother, Tony.
Well, she's in a movie that her dad directed, and then she's in this movie with Uma Thurman, who's her mom.
She's really good. There we go.
You said Uma. All right, and that is what we have in the entertainment report for you this morning.
Excellent.
We have some stuff going on today. We've got some guests on the program. We have money to give away. We also have movie passes to give away. In fact, I have right now, I'm going to give away 2 of these. We'll take callers 20 and 21, and we will give you a pair of passes to see the movie Saw X.
Oh.
And
at the motion picture show.
That is correct. And 215-263 WMMR. We have something else going on today, by the way, and you should watch our YouTube stream. That's all I'm going to say about that. The most disturbing installment of the Saw franchise yet explores the untold chapter of Jigsaw's most personal game, Saw X, only in theaters on September 29th. That is tomorrow. Callers 20 and 21, we'll give you those movie passes. All right, right now, give us a buzz. We're going to be back in a moment. Some guests and stuff we'll tell you about in a little while. Don't forget, Crumb Bum Cash, first chance to win the money. 8 a.m. We'll be right back. Cannot be bought. He reveals in a new interview.
Just placed a call to Chuck DeMacco.
An interview with the Daily Mail.
I can't be bought.
He says that he rejected an offer to officiate Napster founder Sean Parker's wedding in character as Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
That's a little demeaning. For how much?
$1.5 million.
I'll put the suit on now.
Damn right you will. How can you pass that up? I mean, sure, it's below you, but it's $1.5 million.
I'm afraid, how about I'll get the suit now. I'll provide my own beard.
Could you imagine? I mean,
Yes.
you know,
Jesus.
everybody's got a price, right?
Bye. F ya.
I'll officiate as Gandalf. I'll do the first dance as Magneto.
And I'll even do a panda bear. I'll do Kung Fu Panda if you want. I don't give a good goddamn. That's good money.
Ian says I was offered $1.5 million to marry a very famous couple in California.
Yeah, a couple.
Which I would perhaps have considered doing, but I had to go dressed as Gandalf. So I said, I am sorry, Gandalf doesn't do weddings.
Well, why not do it and then donate that money to a charity?
That would listen. That's a great idea.
No, keep the money.
Okay, donate.
And donate the wedding to charity.
And no, because here's the deal. I mean, you know, it's just the act of dressing up for you. That's the whole thing, as opposed to for an audience or for a review or something, or a piece of art.
Right.
That's where his beef is, I think. So
is the fear that if he does it for Sean Fanning, he has to do it for anybody else that has $1.5 million?
I don't know, maybe. He said, I don't go.
It is an honor for Gandalf to officiate the wedding of the situation. Many years when we first saw you in your abdominal muscles on the Jersey Shore, we were all moved with your daily ritual of Jim Tan Laundry. But as time progressed, you fell in love with Sophia. And now you two shall enter into the holiest of unions.
May we have the one ring?
I'm so glad Mike D is here, and Snooky, and even Puck showed up from
Puck.
an earlier TV show.
Wow. Oh, God.
That would be weird. Yeah, I could see where it'd be a little demeaning. If they make him drive, if the word was he had to literally show up in costume, or maybe they could set up a place behind the, in the alleyway.
He would have had to have been.
Me with my my socks on going on. God damn it! Why did I agree to this? I can't get this thing that hooks in the back.
Yeah. It's like 90 degrees, and he's wearing this full robe.
My balls are swimming.
So we had a funeral to attend earlier this week, and my entire family cut the line.
Your entire family cut the line at a funeral, at a viewing?
Yeah, at a viewing, yeah. So let me just set it up for you. Let me tell you exactly what happened.
You have a decent-sized family.
Well, so it was, so here, hear me out.
I know what happened. I'm Kathy Romano.
No.
Could I get a seat closer to the coffin, please?
No. So my mom showed up right before us, and so she was in line. My mom was in line. Me, my dad, and both my brothers came a little bit later. Well, we came at the wrong time. We pulled up. The parking lot was full. The cars were on the street, down the street. The line was through the room. Out into the lobby area, down the hallway, out the door, and down the sidewalk.
So it's a hopping wake.
It was a hopping wake.
It was the wake to be at.
So it was one of my mom's.
It wasn't bougie at all.
Wasn't bougie at all.
It was one of my mom's best friends. She's been friends with this woman forever. It was her brother. So we knew him. We had met him a few times over the years. Had just recently seen him. Maybe it was a year ago or something like that. But we were there for my mom's friend to pay our respects to her.
Show support. Yes.
So you weren't even super close with this person.
Right.
You figured that you could be obnoxious.
Sure. Yeah. You can cut in line.
No. So my mom was in line, and the line to get up to the family was so long. So the way the funeral home is set up, I parked out.
I'm not doing that.
No, it was not like that. No, just listen. So I parked out back, and there was a back door. So we walked through that door, and they were kind of filtering people because there were other people coming through that door. They were kind of filtering people off to the side to try to get them to go back outside and get in line. It wasn't working. There were other people that were kind of merging into the line, which we probably could have done that. But I looked into the room, and my Christopher goes, "Look, there's Mom," and he just beelined it. He walked directly.
Go.
And they had they had ropes set up, and because there were so many people, they were expecting a lot of people. Yeah. No, it was Christopher. It wasn't me.
It's like the wake version of Goodfellas, where she comes in through the back, through the kitchen, and they, what do you do for a living? I'm on radio.
So Christopher just walks right over to my mom and, says, "Hi, Mom," gives her a hug. Now, my mom is maybe 10 people away from the family, so she was right up front. She had yet to reach the casket, but she was right there.
Yeah.
And my dad, not caring about anything, just same thing. He walked over and just he went, "Excuse me," to the people behind my mom and just stepped right in front of them. So now I'm there, and I'm like, okay. And so I follow suit. I go over and I say hi. And now my mom is facing directly forward, and she's like, "I can't even look at the people behind us. I just can't." She was like,
she's mortified.
And I'm like, "I'm gonna go sit in the chairs. I'm not gonna wait in line so that all three of us have now butted in line. I'm going to go sit at the chairs." So I went over, I sat at the chairs, and then when they got up to the family, I just snuck over and I got in. I said hi to my mom's friend and all of the other family members. Now we're finished. We said hi to the family, paid our respects, and we're now exiting. And they have a line set up for the people exiting. Well,
why didn't you take some flowers on the way out?
Right.
Listen, it actually gets worse.
Oh no.
So as we're leaving, when I butted in line, I went in front of my mom. So I was the first of my family. So I'm leaving now, and all of a sudden I see my brother Jim, and he's walking down the exit line.
He walked up the exit line.
He walked up the exit line, ran over to my mom's friend, paid his respects to the family, and then we all got out. Now we're in the lobby, and the people who were behind us the entire time.
I'm sorry, it's fantasy football night.
Right.
Who never said anything. Yeah. I see them walking out, and I'm like, we got to go. I'm like, let's go. I mean, we were all pretty embarrassed, but
you saved a lot of time.
We just didn't want to.
I'll tell you this.
Really.
Khloe Kardashian has a thing for basketball players. Of course, her soon-to-be ex-husband,
love him.
Lamar Odom, starred for the Los Angeles Lakers, and now her ex-boyfriend James Harden and Rashad McCants were also NBA players. And it looks like Kardashian has hooked up with another. She was spotted vacation in Cabo San Lucas with.
Yoo-hoo.
With.
You're a cutie. What's your name? Yoo-hoo.
An avalanche starts. Porpoises are beaching themselves.
She was vacationing.
You're cute.
You're cute.
You're a cutie pie. I want to just eat you up. And I literally will eat you. I will devour your flesh and bones. In tribute to Zool.
She was in Cabo with Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I say this with all due respect. If you have had the checkered history with basketball players that she's had, as the family's had up to this point,
right?
Maybe deviate from that a little bit.
But she needs big guys because she's a big girl.
True.
You know what I mean?
Well, then get the who's the guy from Game of Thrones?
Oh, the Mountain.
The Mountain. How about that dude?
Yeah, that dude is big.
He's big.
Yeah. Thor, isn't that his name?
Oh no.
Did you get my email about Pine Valley?
Yes, that they have. You can go walk the course.
Yeah, that Crump Cup thing that they have every year. Are you interested in doing that?
I was actually going to play the golf course.
I know, and that's why
I have an invitation to it. So
don't you want to walk it first?
Shut up, man. It is the #1 golf course in the world.
In the world.
A lot of people don't realize that. Here, right across the river in New Jersey, kind of near the Blackwood area.
It's in Clementon.
It's by Clementon Park.
Right.
The #1 golf course in the world. According to Golf Digest, according to Golf Magazine, yes.
In the world?
In the world.
Right here?
Well, then, all right, dare I say the universe. Because I'm pretty sure they're not playing golf
in the
anywhere
known
else.
universe, yes. It's called Pine Valley. It's super duper, extremely exclusive.
I read that whole article
Just one second. Please.
Okay, sure. I've been invited by somebody who knows a member there.
And don't you want to walk it first, maybe?
We were supposed to play like a month ago.
Oh!
The day before.
Oh, Steve, I got something.
The day before I was supposed to play, I got a text from them that said that there was a work emergency and I couldn't go. And
You were so excited.
I'm not even making this up. I'm not saying this figuratively. I literally was having a dream about it the night before. I was that stoked to go.
Steve,
and it hasn't come together yet. So is this the privilege approaching?
Privilege. 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 Privilege.
Steve was showing me a video this morning. The Paralympics are going on right now.
They're fascinating to watch.
I saw
two things the other day. I saw, Nick showed me a volleyball player who's 8 feet tall, and he just sit on the ground and play volleyball, but he's an 8-footer, so he's got a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, basically he's taller than the net.
Yeah, and then I saw a guy in an archery competition with no arms.
Yeah.
So he holds the bow and pulls the bowstring back with his feet.
And that requires a good amount of strength.
Crazy amount of strength. I don't know what pound pull bow he was using, but just to position yourself that way is pretty wild. So it got me thinking, us as non-amputees or people born without limbs, are there things that you ever try to do without using your hands or your arms?
Hey, wait, wait a second.
Yeah, Casey found a cup that he can shove in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could drink from that?
Yeah, so it's actually really hard because you need air to get in there in order, like, you know how, like,
that's what I was thinking.
The old high C things, you would have to have 2 holes in the top, so it would
to let air flow.
Yeah.
But also, you generally, to swallow, you need to close your mouth, right?
Yeah.
Do you?
So it's not
I
that
can't
easy.
open it around and go,
Look.
Kathy, you can do that.
All right.
Oh, Max has it. Max can do it. He's got a huge cup in his mouth, too.
Yeah, this is probably.
Yeah, there you go. Now, say something.
Not quite.
We used to scream into cups.
I got a little light.
A broadcaster died during a morning show. This is all well and good, but we have yet to see you actually drink from that cup.
What is it?
Okay, I got a little bit grossed out because
it's
water,
a urine color, isn't it?
It is, but you know what?
Piss? Was that apple juice?
No, it's water, but no, it's.
Steve, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. The event is called Kegs for Cats. It is coming up on October 8th. It's the 3rd, and it's been a blast every time we've done it at the Philadelphia Brewing Company, and we're back there again. It's going to be it's a Sunday from 12 to 3 p.m., and it's going to benefit the Morris Animal Refuge and their Community Cats program, which is amazing. So, again, Philadelphia Brewing Company. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's awesome. The whole layout is fantastic. And so there's going to be food from Algorithm, a food truck, which is incredible, raffles, prizes, kitties to cuddle. There's going to be, I'm your host. I don't know if that's inducement, but maybe it is. And a band called Kitty Rotten, which is a lot of fun. Raffles, prizes, more. Lucy Nolan and the Gata Unbound book series will be there. She'll be signing copies of their books. Basically, it's a way to raise money for this wonderful part of Morris Animal Refuge's program. They work in conjunction with Max Fund, and they reach out and they rescue cats, and it's TNR, and there's all sorts of medical things that are provided for them. It's a win-win for everybody. Everyone has a great time. If you're going to the Eagles game later that day, it's a great way to sort of pre-party. So it's Kegs for Cats. It is October 8th, and all the information is at PrestonandSteve.com. We'd love to see you there.
Go to the website. Get the info. It's right there for you. All right, now we have an update on Kathy's fall activities we need to mention for you this morning.
Yeah, I've actually got 2 things for you. So one, the update is the Creating Candles with Spirits, the Cork and Candles location in King of Prussia Town Center. They had a really cool class. It was sold out, I think, the same day that we had mentioned it. So they've added a second class. So if you're interested in that class, you create your own candle. It's a Halloween themed candle. You pick your scent, and then there's going to be a spirit medium who's there, Karen T. Luchin, and she's going to be doing a reading for the last hour of this class. And they've added a second class on Monday, October 30th.
And the reading as well will be part of that?
Yep, the reading is part of that. And then I also wanted to mention, last night I went to see the Cirque du Soleil Bazaar at the Greater Philadelphia Oak Center. It's in the parking lot there. You see the tents on 422.
It's awesome.
Some of these tent shows are not the best. This one was excellent. It was, it's Cirque du Soleil. It is part of that brand. But everything from the acrobats and the dancers, the musicians, all of the music is played live there. And they were really, really good. It's sort of like an electric, like vibrant, futuristic feel. And it was a really good show.
What's the name of the show this time around? It's like Bazaar? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be in Oaks.
Files.
It's going to be in Oaks through October 22nd. I believe it opened last night or the night before, but it was really good. If you like shows like this one is worth seeing.
You might think you don't like shows like this, and then you go see a show like this, and that's what happened with me, and it's amazing.
There's a part in this where there's 2 roller skaters, and the one roller skater. I had to sit up in my seat. I was leaning forward. We had really good seats. I was like 3 rows back. I straining my eyes. I thought, had this group not been from Canada, I could have sworn it was our former calendar girl, Alexa Santee. And she's a performer. She's a dancer. She performs all over. So I'm like, it looked exactly like her. I was convinced that it was her. And I looked, and I'm like, is that possible, though, to have like a local? I mean, she was doing some amazing things on these roller skates.
I don't know.
I don't think it was her. I looked it up, and they're all from Canada. So my guess is it's not her, but looked exactly like her.
All right, well, this has been a fall activities update for you.
Fall activities.
You can find the full list at PrestonandSteve.com, and there is plenty to be had. And I'll mention some as we go through the next couple of days when they are coming up and on the way. But I want to move on to something else. I saw this article this morning, and it is through Google Trends. There was data that was searched between January 2019 and July 2023, and the group Word List Finder analyzed the 20 most popular songs in a range of genres to find out which song lyrics are the most searched in the United States. And they also found out which musical genres lyrics are looked up most often in each state and worldwide as well.
So you're hearing a song, maybe you've sung a song for many years, and you finally say, what the hell are they singing there? You do a search on it.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. This data is culled from that.
I am conflicted on finding out the lyrics of a song that I've been singing for decades and not really knowing exactly what it is, because I have a fear that it will change the feel and meaning of the song for me.
I'm going to give you a big bingo on that, sir.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly, I go through that as well. This song means something to me in this iteration and in my perception of it.
Yeah.
If it turns out to be a song about manhole covers, I'm going to be upset.
But each time that I have caved and done it, I haven't been disappointed.
No, well, there's one or two times. Yeah.
So I'll use a perfect example. So
the Thong song was I misread that.
So Cyndi Lauper, "Girls Just Want to Have Fun." It's a huge hit, obviously. It's a song that I've been singing since the 1980s. You just can't escape it, whether you're into pop music or not.
Or Lou Albano.
And the lyric that I didn't know was, "When the working day is done, oh girls, they want to have fun."
Right.
I didn't. I was, when the working I just sang gibberish.
That's me too.
I didn't know.
I had no idea.
But that's what it was. When the working day is done, girls just want to have it. And I was like, now I'm not disappointed that I know that.
Right.
And then my favorite song of all time, I've said before, is Benny and the Jets.
It's a great song.
From Elton John. For whatever reason, it brings back wonderful memories as a kid. Are there songs that I get into more and bands that I get into more? Yes. But for some reason, that song has been so consistent in my life that I rank it as probably my all-time favorite song. And there are loads of lyrics in there that I didn't know.
Did you know, so from the beginning, you didn't understand exactly what was going on? Yeah.
I just like, the sound of the audience, the slapback delay that they use on the vocals.
The simplicity.
The simplicity of it, all of it. And the piano parts are amazing. But I finally looked up those lyrics, and I was not disappointed. I was happy with it.
It's about this flamboyant star.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But the lyrics I didn't know were, now the song's playing and I can't think of it. Gotta hear electric music, solid walls of sound.
Yeah.
I never knew I never knew it was solid walls of sound. And so, here you go. Yeah. So with this, I have the answers.
Take us on a journey.
Questions. So I'm just going to jump in and give you the most searched song lyrics in America. What song? One song in particular. And by the way, all of these songs, if I recall, even in their genres, are pretty much songs that have been around for a long time.
Yeah, you would imagine.
Standards, they're classics, whatever you want to call them.
Well, to accrue that data, that amount of impressions, you'd have to be around for a little while.
Yeah. So the most searched song lyrics in America Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, that is the number one song.
From the get-go, I was able to understand the words.
Once they got into the Scaramouche and all that, I was like, "What? That sounds like garbage to me."
I may not have understood what they were. I mean, the point, but I understood
You
the
knew the
words.
word,
Yeah.
I could sing along to it. For
Right,
sure.
right.
Absolutely. But
I can do the fandango.
I would assume that that's the part that people focus in on when they search those lyrics is the operatic part. And
is he saying "screw to pooch"?
Yeah, screw to pooch. And oh wait a minute, what's the
lightning?
Yeah, I got that part.
Because that part, right?
No. Figaro. Damn it! It's the name. It's the demon's name. Whatever that is.
Beelzebub?
No, they don't say Beelzebub. You got to zoom in on that dude. It's way too small. We can't see it.
It is Beelzebub.
It is Beelzebub.
Yeah, but there's they say Beelzebub, but God damn it, scroll down, please.
got it right
I'm
here.
sorry. They mentioned the devil. They mentioned Beelzebub. Keep going down to the operatic part. Okay, go up.
Where is it? Nick, do you have it?
Yep.
All right.
Scroll
Nick,
down.
let Nick be your eyes on this one, Preston.
Man, why can't I say I can't remember.
All right, Nick, what do you think it is? You have it in the operatic part? Do you know what he's
I
talking
have
about?
no idea what he's talking about.
In the song. Let's go to the song. Let's go to the board.
Go to the tape.
You said balls.
I'm sorry.
No, we have to do this now because it will stick in your mind and it will contort you into a vile old man. You can do it.
Is this?
No,
was he not?
No, he was not Pakistani.
He was,
In fact, he says that in
He's
the
called in a derisive. He's
in the movie.
Yeah.
They call him a slur, and he's like, "I'm not Pakistani." He was. Anyway, Bohemian Rhapsody was the top search
song number one
song for lyrics in the United States, all the way around. Now, different genres. How about country music? Let's talk about those.
Country music for me is always pretty easy to decipher. I never.
I say Friends in Low Places.
Yeah.
No.
Where's the dog, the pickup truck, and the broken heart?
Usually that's the case, yes. No, so here are the songs, and there's 5 in each category. So number 5 was "I Hope You Dance" by Leanne Womack.
That's a pretty song.
Don't know
I
that
don't
one.
know that
Yeah.
one.
And hope you dance.
Wait, that
Right. It's sort of
That's country?
It's an well, she is a country artist.
okay?
It's actually
don't know.
actually a lovely song.
Never heard that song in my life.
Oh, yes, you have.
Okay, I have.
Yes, you absolutely
Your
have.
favorite song of all time.
It was
I
first
love that
recorded by
song.
the Bishmalias.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then
See
you
if
have
we can get that song. It'll inspire everyone this morning.
Well, unfortunately, we can't play it back because our
Oh,
Vox
really?
Pro doesn't work. Well, we did this thing where we had to reset the board, and then,
it destroyed everything else.
Destroyed everything.
And it's been doing that for years, and we haven't figured out.
All right, then you have "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" at number 4, most sought after country song lyrics, which I can recite every word to that song.
He was looking for a soul to steal.
He wasn't buying because he was way behind. He was willing to make a deal. He'd come across this young man sawing on a fiddle and play it hot. Devil jumped up on his hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what."
Pretty good.
Her lungs, anytime it comes on, before he cheats. Carrie Underwood.
That's a great song, though.
And now, when she does that, is she telegraphing a message?
Oh
or?
my God, yes.
Yeah.
It's "Don't mess with me, son."
Yeah.
That's what she's saying to me.
Yeah.
I will destroy everything you own, like Kathy's little
Yeah.
intro
My
to our
clip.
program.
And, all right, that's great and all, but He's just cheating. You're destroying everything he owns.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm going to commit a felony, several felonies, because you slept with another girl, and that's okay.
Cheating is not against the law.
Yeah, cheating's not against the law, but everything I'm going to do in response to it is completely against the law.
The best thing to do in an argument is to stay away from that as a completely legitimate defense, because it will only prompt, why is he so defensive about it?
But yeah, she she cuts up his seats and tires and bashes his
Because
and scratches his fish records.
Yeah, no. Listen, Steve, and I'm going to leave it at this because I got in trouble for talking about this before.
Ruins his shower doors.
But I know somebody who was on the receiving end of that.
Had everything vandalized.
Had everything vandalized, and yeah.
You better just watch Going Home, because you just said he just cheated and she destroyed everything.
All right,
just
and
be
then
careful.
number 2.
What are you talking about?
Because you said, oh, well, he just cheated. He just cheated. Like it was no big deal.
He just cheated.
See, that's the whole volatility of it. No matter, even though you're right that it's illegal to vandalize everyone's possessions.
And get assaulted.
Really should happen, though, in that song is she should go bang his dad.
Yes! That's what I did.
That's more like
that would be.
Guess what, honey? I just banged your dad. Did I misread that?
Number 2 on the country songs, most sought after lyrics is, and then Kathy, this kind of blurs the line with country.
Okay.
Love Story from Taylor Swift.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because at that time, she was kind of an in-between pop and country artist.
There was a time when she got massive blowback from the country community because they thought she was leaving and becoming a pop star. Yeah.
And then
this is it. Leanne Womack song that I've never heard
it is?
before.
Okay.
You've heard it.
me and country music don't mix well together. I don't know that song.
Well, country music doesn't mix well with country music anymore. It's not even country music.
Well, and then number 1 on the list is, and I do love this song. So some of the older country songs I do like, Jolene.
Jolene.
Number 1 sought after lyrics of any country song in the country. This is through Google searches, through Google Trends, and that's a great song.
It's in Rolling Stone's list of I think maybe top 50 songs. It's great.
Yeah.
And the story of a woman who's terrified that Jolene's going to steal her man.
Mm-hmm. In other genres, let's go to metal. How about that?
Jolene is at number 1 again.
Well, no. Crazy. Number 5 is Master of Puppets from Metallica.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin.
That's metal.
Come from the land of the ice and snow.
Where the ice and the snow and the land is the snow.
Where the hot winds, midnight sun, and
land of the snow.
California girls.
They dig the clothes they wear.
All right, anyway. Number 3 is
grow.
Number 3 is War Pigs.
Yeah.
From Black Sabbath.
That's a great one.
That's a great song.
You know what? I'm a big fan of the Immigrant Song.
Generals gathered in their masses.
You can kiss my royal asses.
Yeah, you've read these. Yeah.
Preston, how many songs? I used to get lyrics wrong all the time, but you basically have word placeholders so you can sing something.
Sure. Is it okay to rhyme the same word when they have different meanings, like masses and masses? Is that okay?
There would be some who'd say no. It's for War Pigs, we'll give it.
Well, if you're trying different things and smoking funny things, or foking smoney things,
that would have worked.
Dude, stop, man. Foking smoney is very funny. What do you want, bro?
Foking smoney is very funny.
Foking smoney. Yeah, you got no defense on foking smoney, man.
No, you got the whole thing is foking smoney is very funny.
He just does that to me all the time.
I know.
I make these
everyone.
I'm just trying to earn a living here.
Yeah,
and I get
You know what, though? To your credit, To your credit, Preston, you really hide your disdain for that.
I know. Well, this one time I finally.
We all do it, and it's very funny. Like Glappy, when it was said, it was great.
Yes.
When he said,
But there's a new champ in town.
Yes.
Focus money things.
Focus money.
It's funny.
Focus money is.
I mean, he said this one time, and I have it on a hotkey.
Snookle.
I mean, that is funny. Albrise instead of eyebrows is hilarious. Horace Thammer is the best.
Horace Thammer, I forgot about that.
But
what are you going to do?
Focus money. Thank you.
Listen, next time when you greet Preston, if you're calling.
No, don't.
Don't
do that.
Don't
please.
do that.
No, the
Keep it
listeners
to
will not
Presbo.
listen to this suggestion at all. Never say to Preston, especially if you're at a public event, never ever say to him,
Are you
Focus money?
Focus money things.
Don't ever say that to Preston because he'll get upset.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Hang on.
I just received a T-shirt in the mail right now as we speak with it on it. All right. Back to the list. Number 2, as far as metal songs, most searched lyrics, Crazy Train.
By the way, I think it's Chuck who says Focus money is our next cash contest.
Yeah.
It could be.
Smoney, yes.
Money.
Money.
Somebody just texted that you're about to retire with Bill.
Yeah.
But like you can have the little cash signal as the S in Smoney. Oh,
exactly.
yes.
It's got all these possibilities.
Yeah.
On a marketing level, it's going to be a windfall.
Number 1 on the most searched lyrics of metal songs is Enter Sandman.
Okay, I
from
thought
Metallica.
so.
Yeah, you thought that might be it?
Well, yeah, because when you did Master of Puppets, I was like, okay, then Enter Sandman's got to be on there. And then also when you said War Pigs, I thought, oh, God, Crazy Train's got to be on there. So you got 2 from Ozzy and 2 from Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
In the top 5.
It's funny because
And one's
Crazy
up.
Train to me, I never had an issue, you know?
Yeah. All right, so in the pop genre, most searched lyrics, number 5 is Uptown Funk.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Number 4 is Bad Romance from Lady Gaga.
I'm not familiar. Or maybe I am.
Oh, the old Bad
Maybe.
Oh, your Bad Romance.
It's like the
Beard. Coach Beard does a great version of that in Ted Lasso. Then you have Toxic from Britney Spears.
That was good.
Thank you. I've been practicing on that.
That's actually my favorite Britney song.
Is it?
It is. Something about it. It's got a cool groove to
I saw
it.
that tour, the Toxic tour. When it
Oh,
was
did you really?
Wells
You
Fargo
were
Center.
one of what?
There was
7
about
guys there?
7 dudes there, yeah. And I was
why you
one of them.
went.
And Steve, man, you're walking around like the concourse of the Wells Fargo Center, and it's all of these young women. And,
Britney wannabes?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm going to look straight ahead or look straight at the ground because I don't want to be that guy. And I was still that guy.
Then you have...
We have that guy down here.
Followed by Toxic from Britney Spears. Number 2 is I Want It That Way from the Backstreet Boys.
That's a great song.
It is.
It is a great song.
I agree. And then number 1, the most searched lyrics for a pop song is Billie Jean from Michael Jackson.
Do you know what's funny, though? I would not consider these, and maybe I'm approaching this whole thing with the wrong idea, is that were lists or song lyrics that would prove a conundrum for someone who was listening.
I agree.
think these are fairly decipherable.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess for whatever reason, people just want to, maybe...
Do you put the function on the lyric function when you're if you have your on your do you have like an Amazon show or if you
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that you ask for a song to play, it'll run the lyrics for you. It'll run a lyric video.
In just straight up rock category, number 5 is Back in Black from AC/DC. I can see that. Number 4 is Stairway to Heaven, Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Number 3, American Pie, Don McLean.
Okay, I mean, there's a ton of lyrics in that one.
Yeah,
maybe
it's a 10-minute song.
Maybe people just want to know like the story behind it or whatever.
Number 2 is Hotel California from the Eagles.
Same thing.
Ooh, I want. Okay.
What?
I'm trying to think of like what the number one.
Oh, I
already said it.
Oh, you did.
It was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh.
So, I mean, that was the number 1
Did we
song
forget?
For
overall,
everything, yeah.
But it falls under the rock genre. So,
the lyric that I always had to look up for Hotel California was Colitas, which
Yes.
is
Yeah,
weed,
what is
right?
yeah, it's weed.
He's smoking weed.
I didn't know that until maybe a year or 2 ago.
Focus money things.
I say he was back there, focus money things.
going to be a long
Dad, can I talk to you for a second?
Dad.
You're doing it wrong. You're foking it. You need to be smoking it.
Yeah, don't folk those smoney things. Smoke the funny things. Go ahead. More.
All right. So this is a fact.
All right.
Colitas literally means little tails. So it's like the little tails of little buds of a joint.
Huh.
And I never knew that until just now.
Little buds of a joint.
Like if you're smoking the tail end of the joint, like whatever.
A roach.
The roach, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Colitas.
Mm-hmm.
All right, interesting.
It depends on which way you folk it.
All right. God damn it. In the world of hip hop.
Yes. Now this is where I'm going to have to tap out.
In the Club from 50 Cent.
Oh, I do know that.
Number 5. Yeah, there's ones on here.
You said these are all very well known in each genre. Are you? Yeah. Okay.
Hypnotized by Notorious B.I.G. I don't know that song.
Wait. Biggie, can't you see? That hypnotize me.
You know the words. Yeah.
Funny things.
Smoking money things.
Yeah. So people in the house smoking some money thing.
Number 3 is Get Low from Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Excuse me, Lil.
Number 2 is Juicy from Notorious B.I.G. And number 1 is Lose Yourself from Eminem.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mom spaghetti. That's all I think of.
You know, there's an action now. There's the restaurant. There's a stand of Mom spaghetti.
It was a pop-up, wasn't it?
I thought it was so successful they made it a
permanent thing, Marissa?
I think there's one in Detroit, and then Steve, it travels around to festivals too.
Okay.
Because I had it at Firefly when Eminem played a few years ago.
And apparently it's really damn good spaghetti.
I'm going to Detroit next week. Yeah.
See if they can get it to go in a bag for you.
Yeah.
What are you going to Detroit for?
College. Well, I got to fly into Detroit, and I'm going to Ann Arbor and Lansing and another place in Michigan.
So as far as all of the most popular ones across all genres, we've already hit every single one of them. Because I said number 1 was Bohemian Rhapsody, then you have Hotel California, then Lose Yourself, Billie Jean, and Jolene.
Press Carmen on line 2 brings up a good point because there are some other songs that are just like that.
Hi, Carmen. Good morning.
Good morning, it.
What's up, buddy? Good morning to see you.
So how about We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel?
It's a good one.
So that to me seems
lots
like
of lyrics.
Yeah, one that's more in line with, you're trying to figure out the full lyrics.
Like REM's It's the End of the World as we know it.
Perfect example. Yeah.
That was We Didn't Start the Fire. That's how I learned the lyrics so I could sing along. Like I had to look them up and learn them. And also that Blues Traveler song that I used to know every single word. What is it?
Hook. Suck it in, if you're in or Amberlin.
No. How does it start? What's the very beginning?
Doesn't matter what I say.
No, that's not it. What is the damn song?
Are you talking about
Run Around?
Run Around?
How does it start?
Once upon a midnight dream.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's Run Around. Yeah. So that one, I had to look up the lyrics. I wanted to know the beginning of it, and so I looked them up, and then I was able to sing the whole song.
It was a Dave Matthews song. It's like right around the same time, but it's at the end of. Is it Ants Marching?
Yes. There's a bit of a rap at the end of Ants. Yeah.
Cut. That one.
Yes. Do you know what they are? Do you know the words?
Yes.
Kaboomba.
How do wait?
Pow, 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 pow. Kaboomba!
There was a really complex lyric.
That's it.
What's that?
Candyman testing the thoughts of our sweet tooth, touch of our weight loss. That one.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a complex lyric in a one-hit wonder alt-rock song called Here and Now by Letters to Cleo.
Oh.
And the lyrics go, the comfort of a knowledge of a rise above the sky above can never parallel the challenge of an acquisition of the here and now. And for some reason, I remembered that.
But you can't remember the entire script of Tron.
I used to.
Okay.
I was really good at that.
Somebody texted in a good point. I'm surprised that Smells Like Teen Spirit's not on this list because it's so garbled.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
Agreed.
Meatloaf, the Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. That's another one.
Or Double Beatloaf.
I started to try and learn all of the lyrics to I've Been Everywhere from
Johnny
Cash.
Great song.
Yeah.
And it was just too damn hard.
In fact, they were using it in a commercial recently, so I'm sure it taunted you at that point.
Really?
It is. It is. I think.
God.
Listen, these days, Preston, I don't know how they used to do it when they. I mean, you have monitors and they can actually advance the screen for an artist who's performing to get their lyrics right there. Or sometimes I've seen actually artists hold up a phone.
I think when I went to see REM, and I forgot what year this was, early 90s, that Michael Stipe had the lyrics to "It's the End of the World as We Know It" written out in front of him because, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot, and they wrote it years and years ago, and it was supposed to be a stream of consciousness type of song. So I wrote that down. Hang on a second. Let me go to Paul. Hi, Paul. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
What's up, Paul?
You know what I can't figure out?
What?
Radio Free Europe.
Radio Free Europe.
R-E-M.
Great song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? REM used to not publish their lyrics with the albums, and they, on purpose, would leave it up to you to figure out what the hell they were saying, because sometimes Michael Stipe would kind of mumble through some of the words. And Paul,
I've looked them up.
And there's that's like
makes sense when you read them.
They make sense when you read them, or they don't make sense?
No, they make sense when you read them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll peruse that later on. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. One that people are texting about, Nick, Yellow, Ledbetter.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah. I mean, I've read those lyrics and I just sort of sing along and mumble with Eddie as he goes. I mean, there are 2 or 3 lines in there where I know what he's saying, but other than that, there was a point maybe a decade ago where somebody was at an acoustic show where somebody actually asked him, "Are you ever going to explain the lyrics to Yellow Ledbetter?"
Well, let everyone know that when I wrote this particular song, I was focused on things.
I had a feeling.
There's a box or a bag. That's one of the lines.
I love
Big bag of spaghetti.
Yeah. And Make Me Cry, he says to Mike McCready right before a guitar solo. I like that part.
But for the most part, it's all
garbled.
It's just, is it gibberish?
No, it's just Eddie not enunciating properly.
Yeah.
And so he's performed it live countless times.
Sure.
And he continues to do it that way live?
He'll change the lyrics live. He'll change it up from time to time. And I think it's just sort of more of a melodic thing anyway.
There's a point in time, I guess, I'm a big fan of Pat Metheny, and Pat Metheny over the years has used these vocalists. And there's a song off the Last Train Home album, which is a Grammy Award-winning masterpiece. But there's a song, Preston, that I sing along to that is, and I don't know.
Who is this?
Pat Metheny.
Okay.
And it's where the vocals are basically an instrument. They're not real words.
Yeah, it's like in Gig in the Sky. Big Gig in the Sky from Pink Floyd, where they're just essentially scatting.
Yeah.
And then there are songs that are completely in another language that I will sing, and I don't even know the words that I'm saying. Like I'm just singing sounds.
Eres tú.
Eres tú. Eres tú. Eres tú.
99 Love Balloons.
Love Balloons, yeah.
Perfect one.
And people are, I'm sorry, Casey. People are texting in 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies because that has kind of a long rap.
1 week.
Yeah, but like the chuck it in, chin, 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 chicken, chin, chin, Chinese chicken, you know.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken.
That's it.
Have a drumstick and your brain starts thinking, whatever it does.
Does that.
And then there's this, I wanted to play this. It's only 28 seconds, but there's an Instagram handle called There I Ruined It. And they took this Red Hot Chili Peppers song and completely changed the lyrics up. I want to learn the new lyrics, and here it is.
Come to a leaper with...
Most searched lyrics for any song in the U.S. is Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. So
to be honest, I would not have thought that.
Kind of interesting. We need to take a break because it is 9 minutes until 8 o'clock, and that means we got to get to Crumb Bum Cash. So we're going to break. We're going to come back in a moment. We're going to get to that. Your chance to win $1,000. And we'll get to the Bizarre File, too. So stay with us, please.
Guys, I've been drinking whiskey. No, it's water, but I had coffee in there first, so it's a discolored water.
Okay.
Let's see it.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, so with no hands.
All right, so Casey has placed it
on video.
Yeah.
On a tray in front of him.
All right.
And he is now leaning down. He is putting his mouth around it, not using hands at all. See, he's trying to...
That's too big.
So he can't use his hands to put the cup in his mouth either. You know, go ahead and just...
You have to do it without using your hands.
But no, Okay.
Well, I could do it with this one.
All right, use the different cup.
Oh,
he needs a little bit smaller cup. You're going to drink all of that, you think?
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right.
It's been a long time, Preston. I'm kind of out of practice.
Am I in the splash zone? All right, so he's now putting his mouth around it. He's trying to.
Oh, yeah.
I think he needs a little assistance from his hand.
Do you need a little slow jazz?
No, here we go.
What?
He's gonna wrap his mouth around it, and all right, here we go. I want to see this. It's around his mouth. He's throwing his head back. Oh my god! Oh my god! He's doing it.
Gross.
He did it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Good job.
That is disgusting.
It is, right?
Yeah.
You have to, Jen. You're just pouring it down your maw. You're not. There's no swallowing, right?
No. You have to glug a little bit.
Yeah.
Your
But,
maw.
but I guess I was maybe a little bit wrong in my initial assessment. I probably did have to use my hands in the beginning.
So Casey has been. He's had a particular brand of yogurt.
I eat Chobani yogurt. I get it. I have it every day.
day.
It's just part of. It's my breakfast.
Your
It's what I
yogurt.
have.
It's what
every-
makes you you.
Yeah, and
And I eat Chobani yogurt too. I
Yeah.
do.
but what's the other brand?
Dannon makes a yogurt called Oikos, which
Oikos. That's it. Okay.
which I prefer. It's a little bit creamier. So I brought some Oikos yogurt in this morning. I asked hey, have you ever had a chance to try that Oikos yogurt yet?
Because you've recommended it.
Well,
Yeah,
and here's the first great part about this is that Casey asks as if he's never asked before.
No.
Which I think is what bothers Preston.
He's asked me several times.
You really have to understand the intentions behind my question because it was a brand new yogurt that I have not eaten yet
Yogurt.
with a spoon that I have not used yet. So the question really was
It's now or never.
I was going to offer him some.
He wants you to try this yogurt so bad.
I asked him. I said, "Oh, have you ever had the chance to try that yogurt yet?" And then he responds. He's like, "No, you asked me that like a year ago." And
No,
he said you've been asking me
for a year.
That's what he said.
So,
Because it's been a number of times, and so finally,
I
was just-
sensed some irritation on your part.
total
Brett.
irritation.
So then the irritation comes to me because I literally, including today, have asked him twice. So he's like, "You've been asking me for a year."
no.
I literally have asked him two times.
You have Casey. It's been. This was not the second time. It's been many times that you've at least. No, you haven't asked me to try it, but you've certainly said, "Man, I like this stuff. This is really. I used to have Chobani, but this is what I eat, and I like it better."
All right, Preston.
I'm like, okay, that's cool, good.
Agree to disagree.
Whatever. And then finally, I go, look. It's at Wawa. Chobani is at the Wawa I go to. That's why I get it. And I just explain it. I just let it all spill out like that. I'm like, this is why I get it. I have my one stop in the morning. This is why I pick up. It's my ritual. It's what I have.
The nerve had been laid bare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
with
so-
a little more
but then-
attitude.
and this is right
lot more
before
attitude.
we're going to.
He was super douchey about it, right? Right, for a simple question. I was just asking about yogurt, and he was a total a-hole about
See,
it.
this is
I'm
the
tired of it.
This
Right.
is the husband and wife dynamic. And then Casey had to do a live spot, and Preston put his headphones on. And after you put your headphones on, Casey goes, "I can't say anything."
I can't ask many questions, and that's how I feel sometimes.
But at this point, you'd think that you would catch on. He doesn't take well to these things after 4 times of asking.
But you feel he was sending you a sort of trying to suggest that you were not doing something that you were.
Maybe
Yes.
subliminally,
Subliminally, you felt
I
you-
get that.
He
I
was suggesting
don't.
to you were doing something wrong by not trying the yogurt.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I
He wants you
can't
to
say
like-
I can't say definitively
Do you
that I feel that
understand
way,
that,
but
Casey?
maybe on a core sense, maybe that's it. And you've tried to get me to do something several times, and I haven't done it, and it's time for you to go. Okay, well,
Now,
I don't
can
need
you
to do
s-
that anymore.
Can you see?
Why is yogurt so goddamn important to you?
Can you see that Casey is one who loves to share the joys that he experiences with everyone, and that
Sure.
for him it's important that he give you this gift of an extra creamy yogurt.
He eats yogurt every day.
Okay.
He's almost every day.
Casey, how does it make you feel that Preston was seemingly rebuffing your suggestion that he try the creamier
Right.
yogurt?
So for me, Steve,
Yeah.
it goes beyond the yogurt. All right.
It's indicative of a usual.
It could have been anything.
Okay.
It could have been a piece of music. It could have been yogurt. It could have been
Music about yogurt.
Music's another thing.
A restaurant. It could have been anything. So he takes this tone with me a lot of times, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Listen, I've actually heard through the grapevine there's some issues going on here.
That there's some issues going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Between you two. Oh yeah, it's countrywide.
Between me and Casey.
Crazy.
The yogurt.
The yogurt. Well, yeah, because I received your letter, Casey.
You gotta love.
So yeah, Casey actually sent me a letter. It's actually a fake letter from Casey, but it
And he
sounds
writes,
like
"Dear Casey." Yes.
It said, Robert, please allow me to. Dear Robert, if Greeks invented yogurt, then they also invented a broken heart. Well, you see, I recently noticed that Preston has been eating Chobani yogurt every morning for breakfast. But because I care deeply for Preston, I tried to turn him onto a much creamier, much healthier, better tasting Oikos yogurt. Well, my best intentions have sent our relationship into a spiral. And yes, we operate a mixing board together. But we're just going through the motions. Help us put our passion back in our relationship and into our mixing board.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, that came from Steve. Thank you very much. But it sounded good. It sounded good.
I was aware of everything that's going on here. So
yes. So what's going on, guys? I mean,
well, do you want to show you retired to the set? There's a Robert Irvine show set right in place here.
Oh, you got to be kidding!
No. All right. So Robert, you actually picked up on it. You know what the story is. There has been this tension because these guys are actually the best of friends. However, there are certain issues that were spelled out to you, and you do what you do best. And I've seen some of the clips of.
So let's talk about
what
this.
You do.
Let's talk about this, Casey. You're a little in your face with this yogurt. Can we have that yogurt, by the way? Can you bring that?
Yeah, bring out the yogurt if you can. Yeah.
I want to try this yogurt. So you've been
on a tray.
Yes.
I hope they're all the same flavor.
So look.
They are. They're all
You're really upset. Look at me when I talk to you. All right. You're really upset that he's using Chobani, right? And you like the other one. So you wanted him to try yours. So here's what I want you to do. Look at each other. And I want you to tell him that you like Chobani or you love Chobani yogurt more than you love him.
Wow. I can't do that.
Very good. Now I want you to look at him and say you love your yogurt more than you love him.
I can't do that either.
Wow.
I think we just had a breakthrough, guys.
I want you to feed him your yogurt. It's all about breaking. We're breaking now.
Here comes the airplane.
Okay.
Now,
what do you taste there?
I taste love.
Great. Now you take your yogurt and do the same thing to Preston.
All right, here comes the train.
What do you taste?
It is a little creamier. I will agree in that case.
Breakthrough number 2.
Because I don't have any bitterness involved anymore.
But here's the
that's
thing.
clouding my taste buds.
See, okay, so the last time you were gonna not like it as much, regardless.
I kind of tore through that little container, 5 and 3.3 ounces.
Okay.
Very quickly, but now that I've tasted it, it's pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is called compromise. When I'm in a relationship for 18, 20 years, whatever the number is, compromise. You have to listen to each other. But when people get on your nerves, like him.
So. Hopefully you are prepared to win some money, or at least attempt to do that, because we start this right now.
93.3 WMMR, Philadelphia.
You're a real crumb bum.
It's time for a Crumb Bum Cash keyword.
And that word is amount. A-M-O-U-N-T. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com. through the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner will get a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com. And the whole thing is sponsored by Horizon Services. So let me give you that Crumb Bum Cash keyword again. It is amount. A-M-O-U-N-T. Enter it now. Let's take a look at traffic, see how we're doing. Kathy, what's up this morning?
We've got stopped traffic on the 42 freeway northbound Blackwood Clementon Road to 295. The right lane is blocked with an accident. 55 northbound heavy from 47 to 42. Delays on the Blue Route northbound 95 to the Media bypass, southbound side from the Mid-County tolls to the Schuylkill, and then Broomall to Media, Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound, heavy Virginia Drive to Fort Washington, 422 eastbound, Jams Oaks to First Avenue, 95 southbound, heavy from Academy to Cotton and the Betsy Ross Bridge into the Vine Expressway, northbound side from 322 to the Commodore Barry Bridge, and then the Blue Route, also the Blue Route to the Commodore Barry Bridge on the southbound side. Delays on the Schuylkill eastbound 202 into Belmont Boulevard to University, westbound Bear Avenue to South Street, the Boulevard to Belmont, the Blue Road out to Conshohocken. This traffic report brought to you by Cirque du Soleil Bazaar. An acrobatic celebration is now playing through October 22nd at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. Tickets at cirquedusoleil.com. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMM presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, this morning it is brought to you by Nova Farms and Badfish, and a tribute to Sublime this Saturday at the TLA. Doors open at 7. All tickets are free.
Wow.
While supplies last, 21 and over. That's Badfish at the TLA this Saturday, presented by Nova Farms. We will begin with a story about a just-released video that shows a Jack in the Box employee shoot at a drive-thru customer, reportedly during an argument over missing curly fries.
So the guns come out when the curly fries go missing.
Some people have a hankering.
I'm not a big curly fries fan.
I don't go to them.
I would hate to be shot to death over them.
Over that, yes. According to a lawsuit, Anthony Ramos and his family ordered a combo meal at the restaurant. Ramos, a Florida resident, was in Houston for work. He picked up his pregnant wife and daughter, who was 6 years old at the time, from the airport, and they stopped at the drive-thru for food. 15 minutes later, they were speeding off in an attempt to avoid gunfire. In a new release video, employee Alania Fantasia Ford appears agitated with Ramos. He is in the driver's seat. His wife's sitting in the front passenger seat. Their daughter's in the back. They paid $12.99 for a meal combo, but they didn't get the curly fries they ordered, prompting an argument. Not even halfway into the dispute, the video shows Ford ready a gun, and minutes later, and with another employee at the window, she throws ice and condiments before firing at least twice at the family.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and describe her as a hothead.
The lawsuit claims Jack in the Box was negligent for not keeping customers safe. In its original answer, Jack in the Box denied all allegations and stated that the restaurant has no control over and is not legally responsible for third parties like Ford. Ford is also named in a lawsuit and seeks at least $250,000 in damages. Ford was initially charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of deadly conduct.
One has to wonder what would have happened had they been just regular straight fries.
She got a sentence of 1 year deferred adjudication and completed it in June. So now there's a lawsuit. I know.
So they really accelerate those French fry cases.
I guess they do. But I mean, and only a year for taking a shot at someone?
Like at point blank range.
That's insane. That's insane. A wife has been sentenced after pulling down her husband's shorts at a town square in the Villages in Florida.
She pantsed him.
Carrie Ann Graber was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. So she was found passed out at about 11 p.m. that night on the sidewalk at the square. When officers arrived on the scene, Graber had pulled herself up onto a bench, and a puddle was running from the bench onto the sidewalk, and Graber's jeans were saturated.
Oh, no.
She said she urinated on herself.
Yeah.
The native New Yorker became belligerent and began using foul language towards police. She was also pointing her finger at them. She staggered and struggled to walk. Graber's husband arrived on the scene and attempted to take her home. However, she screamed obscenities and jumped in and out of the vehicle. When officers attempted to take her into custody, she struggled with them and then reached over and pulled down her husband's shorts.
Take me to Jack in the Box.
She ended up serving 12 days in jail before her husband bailed her out.
This is one of the most depressing mugshots I've ever seen.
This past week,
she looks like a sad Hummel figure.
She appeared in court and pleaded no contest in the case, and she was sentenced to time already served. A 10-year-old boy drove a piece of construction equipment through the streets of Pittsburgh's Brookline neighborhood, leaving behind a bit of damage. The 911 call went out 7:30 Monday night, reporting that a child had stolen a bobcat from a construction site after officers could be seen surrounding a bobcat on Fordham Street. I've always wanted to drive one of those things.
Absolutely. There's a ton of heavy. We should go to Digger World and take a crack at it. They let you use all that stuff.
Multiple parked vehicles were hit, and a fence and a stop sign were knocked down. Police reportedly caught up to the child and released him to his family about an hour later. They confirmed the child inside was 10 years old. A Ring camera captured the moment the Bobcat skid steer loader slammed into a fence. And the police said that they are taking the investigation very seriously because of the age of the person involved. But I don't know how he managed to get that thing running, but he did. And you can do some damage with the Bobcat.
Well, I think he's found his calling.
Yeah. A vehicle towing a $30 million helicopter got stuck after the top of the aircraft inadvertently rammed into an overpass.
Oh, man.
The photographs show
we can clear
the helicopter on top of a towing trailer wedged under the overpass. It appears the craft's rotor collided with the support beam on the underside of the bridge.
You must be one of the dumbest sons of bitches I ever seen.
The bridge passes 15 feet above the roadway. According to signage north and south of the span, technical specifications for the helicopter indicate its body as 5.5 feet tall.
So it's math.
There is no indication the bridge sustained any structural damage, and the interstate would not be impacted. The driver was ticketed for careless operation. The aircraft involved was a Sikorsky S-92, and fresh from the production line, the helicopter goes for nearly $30 million.
Oh, my God. We're looking at a picture of it. What a disaster.
And then finally, this is great. A Texas high school football game offered fans perhaps one of the most bizarre extra points you'll ever see. During the Gordon Longhorns' 58-8 win over Live Oak Classical on Friday night, one of the game's 66 points had football fans stunned with amazement. Live Oak's coach, Bryce Helton, shared a video showing an extra point attempt after one of Gordon's touchdowns on the night. The ball was successfully kicked through the uprights on the far end of the field, but since the field did not have any nets behind the goalpost, the ball sailed out of play and onto a street located directly behind the end zone. Hilariously, a passing SUV was driving by the field with its windows down. At the exact same moment the ball went out of play, the ball passes perfectly through the truck's window, and the driver of the vehicle never even appeared to hit his brakes. Despite the ball going into the passenger
I did.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe there was somebody in the, because it went in the passenger side.
Right.
I thought there was somebody in the passenger side who caught it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's
Timing-wise, it was just
1 in a trillion.
It just happened, and somebody caught it on video. That's the great thing. So we're going to watch this. I've not seen it yet, so the kick is up. The SUV is going by, and right in the window.
Wow.
And they don't even slow down
That's great.
for a second. That is pretty awesome. We're watching the slow-mo replay of this, and it's just perfect timing. That's all there is to it. It happens every now and then, gang. All right, and that is what I have in the Bizarre File for you, and you have roughly 5 minutes left to enter the word for Crumb Bum Cash. That word is amount, A-M-O-U-N-T, so we want you to do that right now. Amount, enter it, WMMR.com or the MMR app, or you can text it to our special contest short code number, which is 45911. When we come back, we will have a guest in the studio. Will Friedle is going to be here. And this is in conjunction with Pod Meets World.
Yes.
They are doing the live appearance Saturday at the Met. So we'll come back in just a second. Stay with us.
Yes. When they get on your nerve, you have to have more patience. It's like being in marriage. Look at him. He's upset visibly now.
Compromise and patience.
Wow.
I don't think that I am saying, hey, you need to experience this. You really need to do this. You really and after a couple times I try it and I get a cue from him that he's not interested, then I will back off of that.
Right.
Casey keeps going and going and going, and it's just what you do. You know, I mean,
sure.
Well, you got to learn to let that go. If he doesn't go with yoga after
the yogurt
10
thing.
weeks. I mean, you got to give it up.
But the yogurt thing.
Or whatever. It doesn't have to be yoga.
So I thought he was over exaggerating. You're
like a little chihuahua.
How in his face I was about the yogurt.
Okay.
He said I've been asking him for like a year, and I felt like maybe I only asked him a couple of times. And I thought the most hurtful part was I had actually was going to let him try some of the yogurt because I knew, and it was just like The Departed. He didn't see it, so I brought it in for him, and I gave him the DVD because I thought, hey, this brought me joy.
That's like you saying to him, hey, you didn't listen to me. Here, watch it now.
Right.
So now you're telling him what to do.
Right.
And he feels confronted.
Now you've like.
All right, now
alienated.
I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing it from your perspective.
May I jump in here, Robert?
Yeah,
because I think also in a case they both love each other and they have things that excite them and they want the other to experience that, but they can't communicate on how to get. They feel that they are less because the other hasn't embraced something that excites them.
So
is that correct?
All right, and here's the other part of it all. We have the peanut gallery. Okay, so Preston said what he said, and then my feelings got hurt, and maybe I said something so he couldn't hear because his headphones were on. But
what did he say?
I didn't hear it. I can't say anything. Well, I can't say anything.
And then
blah, blah, blah.
I made sure you knew that.
And then
yes, you did.
Yeah. So then,
right, legging on from Kathy over there. Yeah.
This thing that just would have went away, right? I would have had hurt feelings for about 30 seconds, and it would have went away, got brought up on the air, and became a bit without either of us really approving it or intending it or anything.
So you have to respect each other's piece. If you have something you want to say, and you're in a peanut gallery situation, then write it down.
So, and then there's another
write
part
it
of
down.
This.
That's a good way to do it.
There's another part of this that, so after the show was over, our relationship was a little fractured. It really was. There were some hurt feelings. I knew I hurt his feelings, and he knew he hurt mine. He apologized, and we were about to talk it out. And then Matt Rovine, with his giant bushy eyebrows, came in and ruined everything.
And then you never said anything
because I didn't want to drum it back up again.
I was kind of hurt by that.
I know. So
did Rovine say something about the yogurt?
No, he had a feral animal caught in one of his eyebrows, and he was looking for help.
So now that it has been brought back up again, because I didn't want to beat a dead horse, right?
Yep.
So now that it has been brought back up again, Preston.
What?
I called you a couple of names that day. I apologize. I said you were being a dick.
Uh-huh.
And I said you were being a douche. And I thought that was harsh. And those were my hurt feelings speaking.
Okay.
And that was not me. And I apologize.
That's pretty bold of him. That's pretty.
That's good.
Okay,
We're making breakthroughs. Right.
Yeah.
Stand up and give each other a hug.
All right. Let's feed each other some yogurt. Love you, man.
There you are. That was simple, right? Communication.
Yeah.
If you communicate well together, don't listen to the peanut gallery because they're always going to throw in.
Sometimes he is a dick.
Ouch. So I think Kathy's on the bench next.
Yes, yeah. Well, Robert,
we got to have a complete reach right here.
Robert it's a good thing, and because you're reticent to think of a friendship in terms of like the same dynamics that would be in a marriage, but there's very similar things going on, correct?
Exactly the same, and it's the same when they have kids. These are the kids, right? In the room, because they'll throw things and they'll test the parents. So Kathy will go on your side and say, well, he's a douche or whatever. And they will just wind it up because, A, they're fun. They've been in with you guys for a long time. Yeah. But friendship is about communication, just like marriage.
Yes.
About trust, communication. And if you have something to say, you should actually say it to each other, not in front of other people.
Right.
And don't say anything when you're angry. Write it down, put it under somewhere, go away, calm down, then pull it out. And if you still feel the same as what you wrote on that piece of paper, then confront it when you're calmer.
What makes you an expert? Your years as a chef?
Life.
Did you feel a certain weirdness, Preston, after that?
Well, yeah, I brought it on myself because I thought more about what he said, and then I started to, I clammed up. I also have been kind of coming down on myself a little bit about being aware of how I interact with other people and the things that I say, and I want to be more cautious about it. I don't think I'm an outright jerk to people, but sometimes I'll say something and forget that it's just my opinion and that, it's not necessarily the right opinion.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of watch it, except for bitches like Kathy.
Oh, my God. I think I agree with you on that.
Everyone has an opinion, and don't change the way you are. That's what makes you you are.
I mean, if there's something that can bring us all together.
Right. It's our hatred for Kathy.
Right.
I just can't believe this is happening. And This is like really, you guys are
See,
being
Kathy,
serious.
what you didn't realize, it's all about you, not these guys.
We've both tried Chobani. We've both tried the Oikos.
And I just brought another one. Actually, it didn't. Marissa did. I just bought one just for you to try.
Stonyfield.
Yeah, I just thought you can try something different.
Are you saying that this is perhaps a yogurt they can both love together?
Yes, and I want them to interlock arms when you do this. There you go.
Like this.
It's beautiful. And so the healing begins.
What do you think about
No. Yeah, look, we agree.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy.
You know, I noticed a few things.
Ah.
I did.
Down a dark alley, across a field. Look over there. He does. He's Preston Elliott, the noticer. Noticing so you don't have to. And yes, this is probably a lot like the junk drawer.
Yeah.
But just a different introduction.
Cuddling a kitten.
Cuddling a kitten?
Yes. Makes you feel better, but it could be dangerous to your health. Doctors from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the U.S. conducted a large-scale survey of the cat-borne bacterial disease cat scratch fever.
Oh. Yes.
Which is legit. The doctors have warned that hands should always be washed after touching cats and to avoid kissing felines where possible.
Sorry. Make out with them all the time. In fact, I brush my teeth with their tails.
The disease is spread when you are scratched by an infected cat, hence cat scratch fever, or when you don't wash your hands and touch your mouth after stroking an infected cat.
You have to be careful of anything like that, you know. And
well, we're talking about people kissing their chickens.
Kissing your goddamn chicken.
And getting salmonella. Yeah.
I'll kiss a kitten before I kiss a chicken, and yes, that's on my bumper sticker. I kiss chickens and I vote. I will not be overlooked.
We need to have those made.
Cat owners should also be careful about their animals' interaction with stray cats where possible. However, the disease is relatively rare, where the survey finding that annual incidence was...
Survey says...
come on, man.
Give him a break.
I'm just
a kitten-loving man.
One of those days. All right, so anyhow, they found that an annual incidence was 4.5 outpatient diagnosed...
Chicken kisser! Number one answer on the board. Chicken kisser.
The noticer.
With that.
He's ended his noticing for today, but the noticing will go on the Preston and Steve Show.
I have a chance. This is pretty cool. Jared Leto has signed on to star in a new biopic about Andy Warhol.
That's pretty wild.
And so he'll play Andy Warhol. I think he'll be great as Andy Warhol.
Andy! Was that good?
Yeah.
Kind of sounded like it.
Andy! Terrence Winter will pen the script based on the 1989 book Warhol, the biography.
Do you find him at all interesting?
Yeah.
Of that time and what he represents, I do as well.
And just what an oddball, strange guy he was, and the fact that he created such a sensation with with his artwork. So
he also created the game Spud. Oh, a lot of people don't know that.
No way.
Yeah,
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
Out of boredom, like
yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Okay. Wait, how do you play Spud again? I was thinking of Chink.
Excuse me?
Racist. Oh, there's a game.
Yeah,
called
okay.
Chink.
I'm sorry, Casey. You're late for your Klan rally.
You've never heard of the game?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
what's
have.
Spud?
Spud, we always used to use a flat ball, like a ball. That wasn't fully.
Yeah, we did too. What
right?
the hell was the point of that?
It was invented by Andy Warhol.
His wrists were weak.
When you had a ball that you couldn't play foursquare with or something like that, and you had to find something else to do with it, and so you played Spud.
Man, I loved that game.
Spud was a lot of fun.
I forgot how you did it. You throw it up in the air.
Everyone runs, right?
Yeah, but you had to have a category.
Right, and then you spell out as you move towards the person you're going to throw the ball at, right?
Well, yeah, but there was like an it person, right? Who had
Somebody's
the ball.
always it.
Wait a
And
second.
you picked a category. Say the category was colors, and everybody behind you had their color. So I would say I was the person. I would throw it up.
That's it. And they'd
I'd
have
yell,
to run and catch it.
I'd yell red, and if Steve was red, everybody else would take off. Steve would have to go get the ball.
And then it turns into kind of dodgeball after that, right?
Yeah, because you have to get closer to the person that you want to hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a fun game.
WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. Our next guest is making the rounds in the city. It was at the Phil's game last night.
Very cool.
And we'll be at the Met on Saturday for this live event. If you were a fan of Boy Meets World or many other things that our guest has been a part of, you will want to be at the Pod Meets World event. The Kids Want to Jump Tour is what it's called at the Met. Please welcome Will Friedle to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Thanks for being here, man.
This has been so much fun so
Has
far.
it?
Yeah. Oh, man, we were at the Phillies game last night. We got to dance with the Fanatic. It was incredible.
That is
Yeah,
cool.
it was really amazing.
That's
really
pretty-
like bucket list kind of stuff. So
Totally.
Yeah.
I remember my first time interacting with the Fanatic. I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
It was really cool. And we also got to see a game. We walked out and it was 5-0 and then they came back and
Yeah.
everyone smacking home runs. It was the coolest thing in the world.
And the best part was a game that really didn't matter.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. They're like, it might be a little subdued tonight because they
Right.
won the night before. It wasn't subdued. It was great.
Still okay. I love seeing this reaction to Boy Meets World. We're fans of all sorts of genre stuff, and see any rabid fan reaction to something like this, and you are seeing it. And it's just packing theaters, and it sits in so many people's nostalgic, wonderful memories. The show itself, when it ran originally, was a modest hit. It did okay.
If that, we were kind of on.
Right.
That's how we look at it.
Yeah.
We always
You
said,
described it like the Wings of.
It was Wings. It was like if you liked Wings, then Wings was great.
Yeah.
Other people were like, "What is that?" But it ran 8 seasons. That was Boy Meets World.
8.
Yeah. We were never on in TV Guide or anything. We just kind of kept going. We thought we were doing it for our grandparents. So, which is great. And then the second run happened on. I think it went right to ABC Family and then to Disney and then to MTV.
And then it exploded.
And then by that point, it was important, yeah.
So Boy Meets World was a little. I was not age appropriate to be watching that show.
No, that's fair enough. That's
And
fair enough.
but I do remember passing by and seeing Danielle Fishellen, and I would go, "That girl is gorgeous."
Yeah.
I'm changing the channel right now.
Yeah.
Because she's
It
way
was
too
not-
young.
no.
But you
Yeah.
could tell immediately she was a stunner without question. So she is at the event.
She is.
And so is Ryder Strong.
Also a stunner.
And
he is. He's a
it's
stunner.
stunning.
Also a stunner.
But do you guys have some other guests who are going to be joining as well?
We do. We've got Trina McGee's coming in, who played Angela on the show. We've got Tony Quinn, who played Mr. Turner, and a local boy, Mr. Matthew Lawrence, is going to be joining us as well. So the Lawrences are coming back to Philly for us. Yeah,
that's awesome.
You've had many of the different appearances, people being swapped in and out, and special guests, and so on and so forth. A question for you is, as the show came into its own, have you been surprised by people who are now mature, perhaps celebrities in their own right, who are fans of Boy Meets World?
Well, first of all, they're usually fans of Danielle. So that's, as long as we're with her, we're cool,
Right, yeah,
which is good. But yeah, no, we are. We get a lot of. We were at the iHeart Music Festival last weekend in Vegas, and a lot of these artists who I frankly didn't know who a lot of them were, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Were coming up and wanting to take pictures and all this. It was great. It was really cool. We had no idea, and I think by doing this tour, we're getting out there, and the fans are incredible and packing theaters, like you said. I mean, we just didn't think it was going to happen, frankly.
So we just had recently the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia came in, and they did a live podcast event. They've done it a few times here. Similar format as well. They'll put episodes up. They'll talk about those episodes and specifically what was going on during filming. Similar thing that you guys are doing?
We do that's for the podcast. That's what we do. For the live show, we do a whole new thing, which is fun. We got a big costume contest, so people are coming dressed like their favorite characters. We do we bring somebody on stage to play one of the characters, and we do a whole scene that we make up on the spot.
That's cool.
We do trivia, so we just have a a ton. We really do.
that.
No, that's a cool thing. And as we said, so we're friends with as you would imagine, the It's Always Sunny cast, because it's Philadelphia, and over the years we've by sheer force. But to be able to super serve your fans this way, this is something for years that never existed. Where where it was always that was the past. I don't want to embrace that. And there's so many people who go, but I still want a little bit more. And it seems to me, knowing about your career, that you always have appreciated what got you to the dance.
That's
Right.
you have to. It's one of those things where I've always said, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. So I wasn't even the first person to play the character. They cast somebody else in the pilot, and he just wasn't tall enough.
Because they felt Ben would grow.
Ben was going to grow.
And it would seem
and
weird
it would
for
seem
your
weird. That
younger
was
brother
it.
to be
So,
bigger than you. Yeah.
I always say that actor is 5 inches taller, and I'm not sitting here right now. So you never know what's going to happen. So, you do meet some actors that kind of turn their back on what got them where they are, and I never got that. Where I'm just very happy to be embracing and enjoy it. It's just fun.
I can see writing down an application. Yeah. My most attractive or feature or my most
height.
Yeah, my height.
I'm 5 inches taller than the other
5
guy.
inches
Why
tall.
do you think you deserve this job? Because I'm tall.
I'm taller than the other guy. Yeah.
Well, I became aware of you. Well, I was aware of you. Obviously, I was Boy Meets World was out of my appropriate viewing circle at that point in time. But Batman Beyond, Batman Beyond was huge.
Yeah,
and I remember the blowback on that originally, and I'm like, I love this series. You got to work with Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy.
The legendary. Batman, a voiceover actor, passed away recently. And so that was really cool. I mean, and I know you going through the list of superheroes that you voiced. Deadpool, Bumblebee, Blue Beetle, Star-Lord, Green Lantern. But also Lionel and Thundercats.
Yeah, that was that was a tough one because they were going to reboot Thundercats, which is one of my favorite shows of all time as a kid.
Yeah,
and I got the part of Lionel, which is crazy. And then I started writing for the series as well. So we finished the first season, and we got picked up for the second season. I'd already written the first 3 episodes of the second season, and then the toys weren't selling, so they pulled the green light. And it ended with Mum-Ra winning. And it's like, how can you have a kid's cartoon where the bad guy wins? Yes,
he wins.
He won at the end of our series because we were supposed to get picked up and fight back, and it was like they ended with Empire Strikes Back.
That's like
Hans and Carbonite, we're done. Thanks for playing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was
totally
it was weird.
unjust.
Yeah, it was weird.
So, your knowledge was, and you've done a fair amount of writing, have you not?
I have. I've been lucky in my writing career. I the first thing I wrote, I was 19. I wrote the Winnie the Pooh movie for Disney.
Wow.
Which just came out with Ewan McGregor like 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it went through so many hands that now it was written by somebody else. But yeah, I originally wrote that back in the day as a kid, and then just kept writing. Usually for animation is my favorite thing to write for.
I think is wild is that so you started young. You're in Hartford. I think you did like an Ibsen play.
Yeah, we did a Doll's House, which I've still never seen the end of because I was 10 when we were doing it.
Mum-Ra wins at the end.
That's what I heard. That's exactly what I heard. Ibsen loved the Mum-Ra kind of aspect.
Huge Thundercats.
He was.
But you got into like OG Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I got slimed.
Like
Nickelodeon.
you got slimed.
Yeah. Wow.
And I don't know if you guys realize this, but your overseer basically was Robin from Double Dare, correct?
Yeah.
She was sort of your...
Yeah.
Really?
My job at 13, they moved us to Universal Studios before it was opened. So for 5 weeks beforehand, my co-host friends and I had our own apartment where Robin was our guardian. And we had to go to the park every day with a camera crew and just ride all the rides over and over again while they filmed us.
Just you guys?
Just us. And so to use for the 3-hour live opening. So I had my own closed theme park for 5 weeks when I was 13.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Wow. And that's all we did was and the rides were breaking down, and we'd be on the ET ride. I'm sorry, broke down. They bring a ladder. They'd climb us down. The Jaws ride, the shark broke one day, and it actually bit the boat, and the boat sank. And the safety guy had to swim away as we're watching. Yeah, so we just had the park to ourselves.
That's almost better.
The ET ride is still there. It
was
the
a great
oldest ride. We went earlier this year.
Smells good.
We love the ET ride.
Yeah, it's a great ride.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing.
Does it still say your name on the way out?
Yes.
And you'd always try to mess it up so they couldn't tell what the name was. Yeah, we'd always do that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that is
5
wild.
weeks of that. That's fantastic.
Well, that's when you knew you had a weird name because ET at the end he'd go, bye Billy, bye Sandy, bye friend. that's when you knew he couldn't.
Friend was the default?
Friend was the default. You knew you had a name where your parents screwed you out of having a good name that E.T. could pronounce.
Ishkabibble.
Well, I'm fascinated by voiceover work and that realm of acting. So when you get a bit, you get a role or whatever, what's the process like? Do you figure out what your voice is going to sound like first and then start acting? Is it all done at the same time? Because you are acting. I mean, you're bringing your acting chops to that role. So how do you find the voice, and then how do you find how you want to present it?
Well, I mean, you'll get the thing that I love about voiceover is I don't care if you've been working for 40 years, everybody's still equal. So everybody auditions for everything all the time, which is great. Very rarely are you just offered a role, like on camera stuff. So
you got to get that match.
Yeah, so that's what they're looking for. So you'll read something, but then you get into the room, and usually you've worked with the directors before, and they'll say, okay, we're looking for young teenage heroes. So automatically you go up and you're like here, and you're young teenage. But then the person you're sitting next to sounds too much like that. All right, we need to do this. So you tweak when you're in the room, and then by the time you're done, he's 40 and British. So you never kind of know what's going to happen
He's
when
John
you
Cleese.
get there. Exactly. All of a sudden.
So of those roles, obviously Batman Beyond there's always been talk of committing that to film. I would love to see that. I'm a massive fan of that whole series. But which of the superhero properties would you have loved to have participated in a live action version, or would still love to participate in a live action version?
I mean, Batman Beyond. Would be it's just, it lends itself so perfectly to film. I think it does. I think now trying to get into the spandex at 47 would be a lot harder than when I was 17. But no, I mean, seeing that would be pretty outstanding. I think.
It is pretty wild. So you have many tables at conventions, then, right? I mean, you have your credibility is unimpeachable.
I do. I got a lot of nerd cred. I also play D&D, so I've got a ton of nerd cred, which is great. But yeah, it's the Batman. The whole thing with Batman Beyond. I mean, when we did Return of the Joker, I was in between Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill for 2 weeks.
Wow. Conroy was just so good, and the fact that he got to get on the crossover Flashpoint.
Yes, he was so nervous. He called me before. Well, I don't know what, and he actually sounded like that. So every time he called you, you were talking to Batman.
By the way, he turned in Emmy-level performances.
Phenomenal. Well, he was a stage actor.
Yeah.
But he would call you with, I think I'm going to eat a hot dog today. Like, great, Batman. Let's get a hot dog. It was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah.
You worked with William
Daniels.
Daniels,
Mr.
the legendary
Feeney,
Mr. Feeney, legendary.
Yeah.
And you were relaying a story about being on the set, and the first time you realized that he had a place in sci-fi history. Explain what happened, because I think this is hilarious.
So our executive producer's name is Michael Jacobs, and we always would do these long note sessions at the end, and Bill had something to say, and he went, Michael, and we all went, oh my God, he was Kit. You were Kit. And it wasn't until he said our executive...
At that moment.
Like, we all went, oh my God. And it changed everything. All the other little things he did, like 1776.
Right.
The Graduate. None of that mattered. You were Kit on Knight Rider.
Accomplished actor. So and obviously he's been to these. He's done a couple of these.
Still does.
Yeah, still does. But did he? I don't want to say did he suffer you guys, or did I mean?
That's I think the perfect way.
Is that the perfect way? Yeah.
He was also a child actor himself. Who started very, very young. I mean, like vaudeville stuff. His parents put him into it when he was like 6 or 7 years old.
Right.
So he never treated us. It didn't matter that you were 11 or 12. You're part of the cast. You're a fellow actor. That's it. You're not going to get treated like a kid. You're going to show up on time. You're going to know your lines.
Did you appreciate it at the time?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I was a little older. I was 16. But we all knew that when you're with Bill, you don't mess around. And even when we messed around, occasionally he'd give us a little bit of leeway. But you knew you were working with Bill, so it was he made sure professionalism was front and center.
So 8 years, you kind of say you're sort of the wings of ABC. Yes. Was there a level of anonymity that came with that, even though you're on a network show?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was great. I mean, it was the perfect combination of being able to be on a show that was wonderful, but also be able to walk around and do whatever we want, which I kind of can still do as long as Danielle's not with me. If you're walking around with Topanga, you get recognized everywhere, but if you're by yourself, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Maitland Ward was a cast member on there. Maitland Ward is now a porn star.
We had her on the show.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. Yeah, I still talk to Maitland a lot.
Has she? Yeah, has she been a part of the podcast?
Not yet. She'll be on we're definitely having her on when her season comes up. She doesn't come on until later in the show, and we're trying to save some of the guests. We bring them on when they come in, but she'll certainly be on when she comes in.
She has found her lane like this. She's become very successful.
She has.
in adult film industry
and loves it and wrote her book and
she was on to promote. Yeah, and she was very eloquent and very.
She is
this
absolutely.
This is what I'm. And that's it.
Yeah, we did. I will say I would not have guessed.
Yeah.
As you're sitting there talking to her on the set, it would
I
have
would
been
have
like,
figured you.
someday you're doing porn. Yeah, exactly.
I would have figured you.
Exactly. Oh man, even I don't want to watch myself in porn.
Batman Beyond.
But no, it was one of those things where it was kind of like, yeah, go do your thing.
Yeah.
You find happiness, take it.
If you're just tuning in, it's Will Friedle who's here. Pod Meets World. The Kids Want to Jump tour is going to be Saturday at the Met in Philadelphia. Now, we've got some Uber fans.
Massive fans.
Of Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
So I want to see if Marissa wants to come in here and ask a question.
Miss Marissa was trying to play it cool.
And Kyle was a massive fan too. And I'd like them to be able to directly
Yes,
ask
I
you
would
any,
love to. Are
any
you kidding?
questions they might have.
This
so
is great. Marissa did not. I would never have known. She played it totally cool. By the way,
It was so sweet in the green room. I was like, oh yeah, well I'm like 40, so Boy Meets World is really my wheelhouse. He's like, oh, I wouldn't think you were 40.
I wouldn't at all.
Am I blushing?
And I never would have pegged Kyle Mack here as a big fan of Boy Meets World as well.
I am a huge fan of Boy Meets World. I was telling Will in the green room over there that I probably watched all of the seasons maybe anywhere between 5 and 10 times over the course of my life so far.
This is a veteran
And I'm
here,
not
by
done
the
yet.
way.
I
A
love-
veteran.
Are you a veteran too?
Yeah. I am Air Force
Oh,
veteran, yeah.
Thank you so much. My father's a retired captain of the Navy. So
Oh, wow.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, your
very
father,
much.
for his service.
So, would you guys like to ask a question?
Well, first
Or
off,
two?
I want to act really cool and just let you know that I was just texting Robin because I was trying to get her to call in.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
we're friends with Mark Summers and Robin.
No,
and
are
Harvey.
you texting Rob? Does
Yes.
she even remember me?
Well, we'll take a selfie while we're standing here, and I haven't heard back from her yet. I think she's sleeping. She's
It's early.
retired, so she doesn't
Please.
necessarily have
She
to wake
was
up.
the best. Absolutely the best.
So just to set the scene around here, we brought in Mark Summers and Robin and Harvey 10, 12 years ago, and we
Okay.
did Double Dare.
We did
live
drunk
in
Double
the
Dare.
studio.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome.
So I'm over here trying to explain to the guys. I was like, you guys should dig deep into the Eric Matthews character and find out why the arc changed so much over the years. He really started as the cool older brother,
This is
and
the
then he
fan.
got to the doofusy guy that suddenly the dad moved from the grocery store to he owns an REI and
Yeah.
what it is, and now suddenly he's in college and he's smart guy.
Right? We have no idea what it is. We think, frankly, we thought that the show, the A storyline was going so much more Dawson's Creek, which was very popular at the time, that then they just wanted to cut to, and now here's Will for the laughs. That was that kind of doing it that way.
That's how I knew you. Just drive-bys, and I would check the show out, and you'd seem to be very funny and very But I always remember there were touted powerful episodes.
Oh yeah, the very
Powerful
special.
episodes.
Yes, on this
Yeah.
very special episode.
Very special.
We still joke about that. Where Ryder was an alcoholic for 20 minutes. It was that kind of stuff. Where it's I guess we're doing the drinking episode now. It's that kind of
Well,
thing.
and then who played his dad?
Oh, his dad, Blake Clark. Chet.
Yes.
Played Chet Hunter. Blake Clark, great comedian. And would just come on and go sitcom, great, doing this one. All right, there you go.
And they would just write him off for a season, and he would just come live with
Yeah,
you
and then
guys
he'd
for
come
a
back.
season,
Yeah,
and then
it's-
he would come back and live
And
back and
we
forth.
never knew. We'd come back and be like, oh yeah, those characters you've known forever, they're gone now. Wait, what? And
huh?
so they'd just be gone. Yeah, it was weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then there was also the teen beat years. You had to live with photo shoots.
Yeah.
Were those happening weekly?
They were a lot. It was probably monthly we would get together, and that's actually why we call this the Kids Want to Jump Tour, is because they would always throw us a globe at some point. Because it's Boy Meets World, so your globe comes in at some point, and then they'd say, "What do you want to do?" And Ryder, I think at one time went, "I don't know, we could jump," and the photographer freaked out. Everyone back in. The kids want to jump. The kids want to jump. So that is why this is the Kids Want to Jump tour that we have going on right now.
I friggin'
So-
love that.
Was it when you were in that realm, Tiger Beat and all
Sure.
that stuff? Was it tough to stay grounded, or were you just looking around going, "This is crazy"?
It's so absurd.
Yeah.
It really is, where it's one of those things where people are hanging your picture on the wall. I also have two older brothers where I think when I was 16, I went home, 16 or 17, we just started the show. I said one thing that came off as slightly egotistical, and my head was in the toilet. 30 seconds. That's not even a joke.
You got a swirly?
They lifted me up. They gave me the swirly. They put me back down. They're like, "That's not going to fly here," and it never happened again.
Sounds about right.
So
great.
never happened again. That was it. That was my moment of slightly big-headedness, and never going to happen
And
again.
your parents were supportive, but Okay, we're going to drive you to the place. You do it.
Well, that's my parents. So my dad's retired captain of the Navy. They're both lawyers who's in the JAG Corps.
Yeah.
And my mother's was a lawyer in Connecticut. She's since retired and is an author. And so they were like, we love that you want to do this, and we're fully supportive. You're now a man of 11, so you've got to find out what you're doing. We'll drive you to the bus station, but that's the best we can do. So in the 80s, I would get dropped off at the bus in Farmington, Connecticut. I take the bus to Port Authority in New York City.
By yourself?
By myself. My manager would pick me up, usually most of the time. And I would wander the city, go to my auditions, and
what about Nickelodeon? You had to go to Canada for that.
Yeah,
did you not?
well, we did some in Canada. We were at 55th and 9th in Unitel Studio in New York. I lived there with my older brother for a summer. It was always like, who could be your guardian? So when I actually got Boy Meets World, my parents, I was 16, they weren't going to move out to LA with me. So my oldest brother's fraternity brother happened to be moving out at the same time.
Oh, man.
And so Earl became my guardian, and that was it. So
The frat brother.
The frat brother. Yeah, so that was, I grew up very quickly, which is good. But my parents have been married almost 60 years. I come from a very tight family.
Cool.
They knew I wasn't a party wild kid. I've never been to a club in my life. So it was like, just go and do your thing, and we're here for you. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
All right. Kyle, you got a question?
Well, Marissa kind of touched on it with what she was saying, but your character, Eric, went through something that I like to call the Carlton Banks syndrome.
Gotcha.
Where if you watch the first episode and you compare it with the last one, you go from someone who is a normal functioning dude to someone you wonder if they even remember how to breathe.
Right. Yes.
And
This is true.
And
There's two good theories for that, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, actually, it's and also with that, it's interesting because especially towards the last season, you'll have that type of demeanor, but then also have those moments like when Eric and Corey were fighting over clearing out the garage.
Yeah, everyone picks up the cleaning out the garage one. Yeah.
Because you go from, as Marissa said, that doofus to someone who is very heartfelt and serious, because this is a very serious moment between Eric and his brother.
Right.
Now, as far as the transforming into the doofus, was that a very calculated effort? And what was it like developing or not developing the character over time?
Well, the two theories of why he actually turned that way are pretty interesting. One is that since it's called Boy Meets World and it's through Corey's eyes, when Corey was younger, Eric appeared to be the cool older brother. But as he aged, he realized that his brother was actually more of a doofus.
Okay.
That's the theory.
That's kind of cool.
It is. My favorite theory, though, is there's an episode where Eric repeatedly hits his head into a car door. And so there's actual brain damage.
More tragic, but still interesting.
Yes, that's the other theory. So there are two working theories. I frankly like the latter, but that's just me. Really, what it came down to was they needed bigger laughs because, again, Corey and Topanga, the A storyline was getting more and more dramatic. And then they found out with the physical comedy stuff, I was just good at it. So they were kind of just kept throwing more stuff. And then I started to bet. It kind of almost became a bet between myself and the producers and the writers of how far he could go. And so by the time his plays with squirrels are in the couch, then it was off to the races by that point.
Wow.
Okay.
We mentioned William Daniels a little bit earlier, and we're getting a lot of texts, and you can imagine what's coming next, but can you do the Mr. Feeney line?
So this is the thing. A, because of the strike, which we're still very supportive of, and B, I gave it to the girls on Girl Meets World. And there's an interesting story that goes back to Thundercats.
Right.
So Larry Kenney, who was the original voice of Lion-O, went to a convention, and somebody said, can you do the Thundercats call? And he said, they just recast a new Lion-O. I'll do it one more time, and then I'm passing the torch, and it's officially Will's, and I'm not going to do it anymore. And I thought that was so cool.
And you're not clamped onto it for eternity.
Yeah, exactly. And when the girls did it, we're going to do it on Girl Meets World. I went in front of the audience. I did it one more time, and I said, now it's officially yours. So
I would have to imagine. Go ahead.
What's the Mr. Feeney line? I mean, you don't have to do it.
No.
I don't even know what it is.
So really what it is it started in the script. It's just Eric approaches the fence and says, Mr. Feeney. And you just go, Mr. Feeney, and that was it. And me being a ham by the end of the show, it was this long, like I'm just doing all the stuff that just to keep me on camera as long as I could. It was like 90 seconds long by the time we were done.
So with Girl Meets World, they had the weight of having to deliver this.
Yeah.
it's like saying I'm James Bond at that point.
Pretty much, yeah.
So did you counsel him, or did you say you're free?
I helped a little bit, but I said, you're never gonna do what I did. You'll never approach the master. So just go off. No, it's like they knew. You know,
Go
they were
fail.
great at it.
Yeah, they gave him a swirly.
Exactly. The girls picked me up and dug me in the toilet. But that's what Larry Kenny said. He said where he said, "I know the first time you do this, there's going to be the weight of the world on you." I was like, "The Thundercats call? You think? Yeah." So it was yeah.
Right,
that was tough.
right.
That was tough.
With the strike, are you allowed to do Thundercats, or is that
No, Thundercats I can do. That's Thundercats. Oh! Yeah, that's a good one. Perfect. So that's good. No, animation I could do all the time.
Yes.
I could be Batman the whole time. That's fine.
So Girl Meets World was on Disney. Was Boy Meets World affiliated with Disney? I don't know.
Yeah, so ABC and Disney were
It was
together.
ABC.
Yeah.
We had I forgot who we had in, who had a Disney show, Casey, years ago, and we asked him about, wow, you must get the run of the parks. You must be able to do all this stuff. And they were like, no. You would think so, but no.
Occasionally. And when Disney does throw a party, they throw a party.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, yeah, if it's like their 35th anniversary, they fly you all there in a jet. You get to go behind the scenes at all the rides, all that kind of stuff. The rest of the time, they're like, the line starts back there.
I would think if there's anywhere you would, as a kid, where you would want to throw your quasi celebrity weight around, even if you were able to understand celebrity weight, would be at the amusement parks. Yeah. And you couldn't even get traction. But you got the greatest gift of all time, that preview of Universal.
Oh, that was still, people always say, what's the best job you ever had? I'll never beat that. I mean, I had a theme park to myself at 13. You can't. You're never going to beat that. I don't care what I do ever in my life. That is the pinnacle.
Well,
I love you, babe. That's to my wife. And my wedding.
Number 2.
But it was the perfect match of the theme park and a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
It couldn't have happened at a better time.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing in the world. And then it was like, hey, we got to shoot something today where you need to go to the restaurants and eat all the fun food. And thing like, all right, I guess we'll do that. It's great.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, this is stuff you dream. I mean, years ago, the first time I had a taste of something like that, a radio job present at a station here, DRE, and there was the food, the comedians. What was the big drive? The HBO Comic Relief.
Oh, yes.
So they flew my wife and I out to California to Universal. We got that cut the line. I mean, cut the line ahead of Make-A-Wish kids. You know, like, and I'm like, oh my God. And you know, you're like, I feel horrible, but I'm loving this.
Yeah.
So to me, for you to process that and then kind of keep it in check, I guess the swirlies helped.
They do. You got the two older brothers. It definitely helps.
Because it would seem almost an insert. You don't have so many kids and childhood actors succumb to things. Yeah. And I think what happens, and correct me if I'm wrong, other kids naturally are like, this guy. Like they'll bristle at that. You think you're going to have like, oh wow, you're in the show, but does that happen, or do you get sort of outcast status at school?
It depends. Unfortunately, when you're a kid, anything that makes you different is bad.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
I remember for a good year. So it's funny and yet horrible for me to say at the same time. In like 7th grade, every time I opened my mouth in class, 2 or 3 people would go, "I'm sorry, I was just acting." Every time I opened my mouth.
Right.
So yeah, nothing. Don't start with me. You're re-triggering me all over again. No. But so it is. It's just anything is anything.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things where again, from the family, it all comes from how you're raised. So the family I came from, getting the big head or falling down the rabbit hole of you're literally somebody cool on Thursday night, and then the show's over, and Friday morning you're somebody. You're just you again.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where if there's no difference between those things, it's like, no, I was just me Thursday night. I just had a different job.
Right.
Then you're fine.
Yeah.
If your whole life is about, well, what am I going to do now? I need to chase that high. Then you have some problems. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to slip back and go back to producing, but
Okay.
2 things.
Yeah.
I think, have you guys been to the Real Chubbies?
No, we're going.
Okay.
I think we're going either today or tomorrow. We're going
Okay.
to the Real Chubbies, which is awesome. Yeah.
That's
Which,
awesome.
by the way, when we come and do the slide with our cardboard thing, I want to make a Chubbies booth.
Cardboard classic.
Cardboard classic. I want to make a full Chubby set that the cast slides down the hill. I've already thought about it. I've already thought about what I want to do. So,
Well,
yeah.
with the trick shot at the
Yes,
pool table.
thank you.
So then add this to your list. I think you guys should also go to Independence Hall.
Yeah.
And record yourself singing like, "Sit down, John, somebody open up the window."
That we could just do our 1776 for Mr. Feeney. I
That
love
was Mr. Feeney's line in the movie.
It was
well, the series, by the way, for people who don't know, it took place in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's obviously the big connection.
Is there a John Adams High in Philadelphia? Is that a real thing? Or did they
No.
make that up just for the show?
They made that up. But Corey and you guys would always have all the Phillies gear.
Of course.
And it was like the 93 Phillies
It
all
was
over
the
the
best,
place.
yeah.
I'm officially Team Eric. Move over, Team Sean.
Yes.
Here we are.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry. Peace out.
All right.
Love that. Great mic drop.
Wow. Well, the event is coming up on Saturday, and if you want to get tickets, it's through the Met, and you can go to themetphilly.com to get all that. But so it's not till Saturday. You guys, are you doing any more of the city while you're here?
Yeah, I'm a history buff, so I want to do all the history stuff. I've been here before, and this is like, I grew up in Connecticut, where some of the history comes from, and
It does come from there, too.
Boston, Philly, this whole vibe of just the kind of the birthplace for our country. I'm a big fan of. So
Yeah, the great part is when you're here and you're able to drink it in, whatever you see, it's probably the first.
Right.
Yeah, the first.
I can't wait.
Which
so,
is
yeah,
amazing.
Going to where the Second Continental Congress was and Liberty Bell. I'm over the moon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, we'll get the tickets, themetphilly.com. It's Pop Meets World, the Kids Wanna Jump Tour, and we hope you have a great time while you're in town.
Thank you so much for having me here. This has been great.
Absolutely. Will Friedle, guys. on the Preston and Steve
everybody.
Show. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a second. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMM.
What happens on the throwing process is everyone runs in different directions, but if your name is called as you're running, you realize it's you or your color.
Yeah, and you got to go back and get
and
it.
then you've got to run back.
I feel like I've missed out on my childhood.
It was awesome.
I've never played this game.
And I never knew Andy Warhol invented it.
Yeah.
Well, he was a color guy, right?
He was very much about.
Totally,
Doesn't
yeah.
have to be colors, though. It can be anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be all kinds of categories.
Campbell's soup.
So anyhow, I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. But
He's just kind of the last person you'd figure would have been Spud.
oh my God, I've got to quit snorting, man. I am doing that way too often.
You snorted on the golf course yesterday.
I can't help it. It's after a long wheezy laugh, and then I have to inhale, and somehow or another my nose gets involved. I can't help it. Casey brought these into the studio. I have 3 ink pens. They're Bic, just your standard, office ink pen, cheapies.
One might find in any drawer.
Yeah, and these have been mutilated.
What happened?
Clearly, someone has been chewing on these pens.
Well, wait a second. They're kept in this studio, correct?
No. He got these from the what's the number studio next door?
4F.
4F.
Yeah.
In Studio 4F, which is the main MMR studio. And these pens are absolutely mutilated by how badly they've been chewed on.
So who do you figure is the greatest perpetrator, or the most
I know
likely
exactly who it is.
perpetrator?
You know who it is?
Yes, that pen looks extremely familiar to me.
Oh.
Who is it?
It's Matt Cord.
That's what I
Matt Cord.
He used to do that with. I used to him and I used to get. I would basically make fun of him because he would do that to all the pens at the Sixers games. He would use a red and a blue pen, and he would
Chew the F out of
He
them?
would chew the F out of the top of it. And
Matt's got some major teeth.
I always used to be like, ew, that's so gross.
We have a point of contention up on the phones here, Preston.
Uh-oh.
There may be
okay,
there
all
may
right.
be a false accusation.
Hang on a second. Yeah, Pancake's on the line. Pierre's producer. Hey, Pancake.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. So you have a theory on the chewed pens?
Yeah, so I think that it's Jackie.
See, Jackie blames Matt Cord.
Well, because Matt Cord uses different pens. Matt Cord has
That's true.
special-
He has
Matt
special
Cord has
pens.
special
He
DJ
does.
pens.
He does. Now, Pancake's right. He has the blue and the red pen that he uses for everything.
All right. Well, Pancake, I don't know. You still thinking it's Jackie?
I think it's Jackie. I'm not sure, but we actually call it the pen famine, and we ordered a box of 50 pens because we were getting 2 and 3 at a time.
Wow.
You call it the pen what?
The pen famine.
The pen famine.
Oh, pen famine.
The great pen famine.
The great pen famine.
16, yeah.
All right, Matt's on the line. Hey, Matt.
I don't chew pens.
You don't chew pens ever?
No, I treat I use Papermate, Flare, blue and red. I treat them like gold.
You put that cap in your mouth. Do not say you don't.
Well,
But I never chew it. No, I don't. The chewer's Jackie. Come on.
All right.
All right, so Matt's vehemently, no, definitely not.
He says
Okay.
Jackie is the
Thank
chewer.
you, Matt. Okay, all right.
So it's not Pierre and it's not Matt Cord.
Should we bring in an expert to note the teeth markings and do a DNA test.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Because you have a set number of people who are using that Air Studio. You can get DNA swabs.
Yep.
And then get samples from all of the chalks, and you could nail this down in no time.
Do you want me to go to Jackie Bam Bam's secret hiding spot and see how many pens he has there?
And see if there's any chewed up ones.
Hang on. Oh.
Casey.
Can I come with you? I want to see where it is.
Can you divulge that
I'm
to
going
her?
with them.
Case?
Look at how thrilled they are to do this.
I know. All right, hold on a second.
This is what it's come to. How many? That looks like 50 pens.
That's just from Jackie's hiding
Here's
hole.
the chewed up ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These are all chewed up ones.
Wow.
17, 18.
We might have a culprit here.
This one has teeth marks on it too. 19. The other ones look clean.
So about almost half of the pens?
19 chewed up pens.
I think I need to apologize to Matt Cord.
Yeah,
I think so.
Sorry.
Are we going to go by the people versus he who smelt it dealt it?
Or people in glass houses, or Jacques.
I'm going with the Queef Club.
Jackie Hughes.
Queef Club!
Yes.
Queef Club!
Nobody's implicated Marcus in this.
Oh.
No.
You don't think so? He did the overnights last night.
But listen, maybe Jackie may have just stolen these chewed up pens and taken them and
It's
put
quite
it in
possible.
his stash. I mean, it's like you never know until you hear the other
He
side of it.
rescued them.
Why steal chewed up pens? Well, I would steal. Then if I wasn't the pen chewer, I wouldn't.
Maybe
want...
he's got a problem. Oh, wait a minute. Bam Bam's on the line.
Bam Bam!
Hey, Bam Bam.
I'm like the sixth person of the Preston and Steve show. This is going to be a good habit here.
It is. It is a good habit.
Jackie, I need to ask you a question. So, have you complained that there are chewed up pens in the studio and that Matt Cord may be the culprit?
No, I never complain about them because I put the pens in my mouth. When you smoke cigarettes and all, you need something in your mouth. You get a little nervous. I don't chew them, but I'll be honest with you. I put a couple in my mouth. Yeah.
So wait a minute. So okay, Casey, I thought you said
he's not being totally forthcoming.
Well, he just woke up.
Matt Cord doesn't have a problem with pens. Matt Cord has a problem with toothpicks. No, never.
All right, we've heard about Matt Cord's toothpicks problem. We've heard that someone has a foot powder issue. We've heard, but this chewed pen thing. Now we have actually found your super hidden stash of pens, and at least
great.
half of them.
I won't have anything to write with tonight when I get there. That's my.
Don't worry, there's 1,000 pens and markers up there.
You'll have plenty to
You're
write.
good. We'll put them back.
You better put them back, Casey.
Not to
Well,
mention
listen.
the 3 dozen pens you have in your briefcase.
No. I can never find a pen. That's where they're hidden because there's never nothing to write with.
Can't find them because they're all up there.
Jackie, there's 50 of them here, and 20 of them are chewed on.
Well, I'm not going to say I chewed them, but I do say I hide them all.
All right, so if you put them in your mouth, are you sure that at any point in time you don't give a quick little nibble?
Maybe I do, yeah.
Jackie.
Yes.
You just gave yourself a one-way ticket to the penitentiary.
By the way, somebody texted in and said, Cord was just a red herring. It was Bam Bam in 4F with the big pen.
Yes. What about all the panties with skid marks in Kathy's garbage can?
Those are mine.
Oh, they're yours?
Yeah.
All right.
We have All right, anyhow.
Well, she immediately fessed up.
But I think we solved something.
We did.
I know. I'm pretty happy that
good.
we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Very rare that we actually do. So
Teamwork.
That was
Well,
cool.
we have to talk to HR now. So what they're going to do.
Bert Kreischer is still here, the machine, the conqueror himself, who will be at Helium Comedy Club today, tonight, and then through the weekend.
Until the autopsy.
Until the autopsy takes place. He's got his bottle of Fireball.
There's no surprise ending for this one night.
Been enjoying this morning.
Just blackout.
Our other guests we love having here anytime he can. There's a very cool party coming up. Some of us have been to it before, and it's for a great cause. For a great cause.
Santa Claus.
You can do it.
Oh,
One of those things.
God.
It's M. Night Shyamalan. Who's here this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
All right, so yeah, Bert, I know, was just a huge fan, and he wanted to stick around.
It's so cool meeting you.
Thank you, man.
You've given me so much enjoyment. Do you ever think that, like, how you've Okay, we were sharing this, and I didn't want to talk about this on air because it may come out.
Tell the story that you were telling us. It's absolutely fine.
I saw Sixth Sense at a black movie theater.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was the coolest experience because it really brought me together with black dudes. Like, as soon as he goes back and he sees the blood, I realized it with every black dude, and I hear the guy behind me like, "Oh, dude's dead, dude's dead," and then I stand up like, "Dude's dead, dude's dead," and we start hitting each other. We're all standing up in the movie theater. It was so, and then we sat in the lobby for an hour later, breaking down the movie, being like, "Yeah, thermostat drops. Yeah, oh, that makes sense. Oh, the mom, she was talking to herself. She was talking to herself. She was talking to herself."
Well, if I can bring people together, that's really
best moment. That was the kid from New Kids on the Block. Shut up! Shut up!
That's the surprise.
Yeah. Last night, and I was just skimming through the channels. Yeah. So you had Unbreakable.
Oh!
You had The Village.
The Village!
Hey, just a minute, Bert.
Calm down, Bert.
You had Unbreakable, The Village, Lady in the Water, and The Visit were all on
TV
last night.
Wow.
Every single one of them. And is it because it's this time of year that maybe the cable companies say, all right.
How much money do you have?
I think as a new movie is coming out, as it's coming out, they try to play my movies again.
Okay.
So they feel there's more attention and people want to catch up on old movies they haven't seen and those kind of things. So as this new movie's coming out, they start playing the old ones. By the way, I have to say,
yes,
whenever I tend to not go on radio shows, I've said this to you guys around the country because like the cowbells and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I always go, would Kubrick do this? And now as I'm sitting next to you in your underwear, I'm questioning my very
decision.
status. I mean, it reminds me of in high school when I was on the swim team, but this is the last time I think I've seen a male in a Speedo.
Get ready, a wave's coming. Do you underestimate your audiences sometimes in a movie or overestimate them and they'll figure this out now? How did you know we were going to figure it out then? That's what I can't understand. How did you know I was going to get it when he went, and I was like, how did you know I was going to stand up, grab a black dude by his dreadlocks and go, "Dude's dead"? How did you know
I'm going to guess that part he did not know. But that
it's called the dreadlock moment. Yes. The technical term for it. And
someone better get a picture of me getting a shot with M. Night Shyamalan.
So what do we drink? What is this?
It's Fireball.
Oh yeah, if you guys are all drinking it, I'll definitely do it.
I'll take a picture.
See,
I'll have a shot. Anybody who wants a shot, step forward. Now, unless we do this right now, we aren't able to do a shot before 9 a.m. because it's 8:58 a.m.
We got to do
say
this.
that we did shots before 9 a.m. You ready?
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Bert Kreischer raised it up.
Cheers. Hey, it is a pleasure meeting you, man. Thank you so much for what you do.
Here you go. Toast.
Guys, cheers.
Prost.
Cheers. All right, I got to go to the Helium Comedy Club and do a show now.
That's pretty good.
What are you doing at noon?
Night,
I
by
got
the
an extra
way.
Speedo.
Bill Weston, Man About Town.
Oh, let's make a call.
Is he out in the hallway?
I don't know. But that's
He's dressed as Professor Snape.
It's a pretty good costume.
From Harry Potter. It actually is really good, but I can't believe that's Bill.
Bill Weston to the Air Studio. Bill Weston to the Air Studio.
There he is. There he is. He's here. Man About Town. Oh, my God.
He looks like Emo Phillips' brother. That's good, Bill. That's actually, you have a sort of Rickman-esque quality to you.
That's really good.
Yeah, get on the mic here, dude.
Professor.
Yeah. And
Yes.
do your best Snape impression.
I don't, somebody said, "What's his first name?" I said, Snervius or Severus or something.
Snervius.
What is it?
You got it.
Severus.
It is.
Mo. What is it?
Severus.
Nervious.
Severus.
Snervius. We should have let him go all day.
Snervius. I'm Snervius Snape. I'm
nice to meet
his
you.
slowest brother. I gotta put. My teeth don't sit right.
Snervius Snape. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Now are you snooing?
Do you have a wand? Did you get it?
No, I didn't do the wand.
We need to have a
when I went
wand.
we had a big Halloween party on Saturday
Oh,
night.
here.
you know.
I got one. I got one.
I know what he's getting.
I know what he's getting too.
Yeah.
It's probably what they threw out on the field of the Bills game.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
Dildo.
That's great.
Hang on a second. Casey will get your Snervious.
It's perfect for your
Yeah, I'm not going to hold on to that thing. I'm not. I'm not. Because somebody's going to take a picture of it, and I'm not touching that thing.
Say Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviar Leviosa. Oh my God, that is just
That's
wrong.
great, Bill.
Do you want a black one instead or
No.
Was it a theme? Did
No, sorry, Marissa, you lost your opportunity.
Drumstick. There you go.
Thank you.
There's your
All right.
one.
Were you and the missus doing a Harry Potter?
Yeah, she
thing?
dressed up as
Hermione?
Maggie Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever that is.
Minerva.
Minerva.
Yeah, McGonagall.
Oh yeah. All right. So do you do you have a delivery? Do you know how he speaks?
No. Well,
Yeah. It's
I went
Alan
on,
Rickman.
I know. I
Yeah.
love Alan Rickman. I was talking to people about
Welcome to Hogwarts.
Galaxy Quest and Robin Hood and all these great roles or whatever. But no, I couldn't.
very aristocratic. You know.
Yes.
Finish this line. Turn to page 300.
And 5.
Close. 94.
Okay. All right. That was good.
You are surely wondering why I have summoned you.
Oh wait, he doesn't have his headphones on.
All right.
Snevers.
Snevers is
This is Snurpy Snipplesmatter.
Here we go.
This hour. It's come to my attention that earlier this evening, Harry Potter was sighted in Hogsmeade. Now, should anyone, student or staff, attempt to aid Mr. Potter,
you have to space out your.
I am Snervious Snappus Snippler, and I drink Snapple for the enjoyment, and I click the lid.
And my least favorite soup is Snapper.
Another interview coming up in a little bit with director Peter Facinelli, but man, some sad news to pass along. Dumbledore died. Michael Gambon passed away. That is just terrible to see. He was 82 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
Had he been
perfect.
ill? Do we know? or-
This is the first I'd heard of anything, and I remember when he got the role for the third movie for Prisoner of Azkaban. I was like, nobody can replace Richard Harris. And then this guy came in and absolutely did, and he made the role his own, and he was perfect as Dumbledore.
Yeah,
there was a delineation. Richard Harris was Richard Harris,
right,
and brought a really his own thing to it, and I think a little bit more paternal came in with him with Gambon.
And you know what? To be honest, I don't know much about his career. I just quickly was reading a little bit, and he's like a member of the British Empire, and was revered. And Laurence Olivier was somebody who had seen his brilliance early on. I just didn't know. I think he did a lot of work in the UK.
He did. He played the father on Family Matters.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Incredible performance.
Wow! Stop it. Did he do that? No, but he was just wonderful in the Harry Potter series.
Again,
excellent.
You think of those films and the quality and the magic that is inherent in those movies and what they're able to pull off with different directors.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So sad news. 82 years old. Wow.
I think it was different directors for all but 2 of the movies. Christopher Columbus did the first 2 with Richard Harris, and we've said this many times, but those movies are kind of kids' movies.
Yeah, they're finding their way.
Yeah, as the first 2 books, and then the transition from the second book to the third. And if you do watch the third movie, if you watch Prisoner of Azkaban, you'll notice that Michael Gambon / Dumbledore is not in it as much, and that was deliberate. That was the movie that Shyamalan might have directed, and ended up being Alfonso Cuarón instead. But they kept Dumbledore a little bit in the background because they wanted to ease the transition from Richard Harris.
I'm here.
To a new actor.
After our next our interview, if you want, ask me, because you had mentioned Christopher Columbus, ask me about my conversation with Jackie Bam Bam and Christopher Columbus.
We'll do that.
Oh,
All right,
man.
Jackie, I'm going to write that down. Bam, bam, conversation. Okay. All right. We now have a conversation with our next guest, who is on to promote On Fire, which is in theaters tomorrow, by the way. He's the director of the film, and this looks like an intense, like edge your seat type of movie. And you definitely want to take a look when you get a chance. Peter Facinelli is in. He stars in the film as well. Hey, Peter, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's still dark here in Los Angeles.
I got you early.
We're sorry about that.
But it's building up to
No worries.
it's building up to the big release. How does it feel
when it's about to happen, when the project that you've worked on for so long and ready to present to the masses is about to make its debut, its splash?
It feels like wedding day. That's what it feels like. Like a little nervous, like because it's built up to this moment. But you're there for the guests. Now it's all about the guests, and also just giving it over to the audience. So. Hopefully, and you hope they like it. You hope they show up.
The word has been very good on it. Now you co-directed with Nick Lyon, correct?
Yeah.
And it happened by from what, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Nick got COVID during production, and you picked up the reins directing. And was that now you directed before, but was that, no pun intended, a trial by fire in this case?
No, I directed 2 other films before. You know, I signed on to do the lead of the film, and it was a very poignant story about wildfires, and my family gets trapped in a wildfire. And then, you know, Nick got sick, like you said, and there was no time to really stress about it. You know, someone had to take the baton and keep on going. So I jumped in. It was kind of like my character in the movie, because my character in the movie, you know, he's a dad, and he has his family, and then all of a sudden he's thrown into this chaotic event. So I just kind of used it because it was like life imitating art.
No, yeah. And where you are, obviously you're in LA right now, but I mean, we've had in the news between Maui and the Canadian forest fires and all that stuff. This has all been going on, but it's my understanding that it was important to you and to Nick to convey in this movie, and I think it's something that sort of blew us away about the whole Maui thing, how quickly these fires can move.
Yeah, there's a lot of wonderful takeaways in this film. I mean, there's an umbrella of this family survival film that is an entertaining movie that keeps you on the edge of your seats. But you feel like part of this family, like it gives you an in-depth look where you feel like you are part of that family and you're trying to get out of that fire, so that you can have more compassion and then maybe we can come together and give pause to, you know, how we can solve this issue that continues to happen far too often. But there's a lot of other takeaways, like you said, where my character doesn't think it's coming anywhere near them, and the shift of the wind happens and it's at their doorstep.
Yeah,
you know. Which happens.
Yeah, and you know what I can equate it with is I have family members that live in Florida, and you get word that there's a storm coming up the coast. Where's it going to go? Well, we're not really sure, but I think it might here. When's it going to land? We're not 100% sure. And the ability to just pack up and leave is not always an option for everybody. It's not always a real, convenient thing to be able to do. And the family in this faces this issue, and I like that you guys cover that. Because the question might be, well, how did you end up in this position in the first place, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a cautionary tale. And, you know, my parents are guilty of it, too, back when there was Hurricane Sandy on the East Coast and that evacuation, you know, alert, and they didn't go. And I kept telling them to go, and the house flooded, and they were okay, but they might not have been.
Yeah.
And so there's a great line in my movie. My character says, you know, things can be replaced, people can. Yeah. And it's important to remember that, because if you get an evacuation alert, just go. You know, your stuff can be replaced.
Well, you have one of our favorite actors in the movie as well, and one of our favorite guests, Lance Henriksen. And he,
love him.
Yeah, he's responsible for one of the funniest moments off camera here. We had one of our at that time a calendar girl in the studio, and he, in a very obvious jokey manner, dropped his room key down in front of her, and we all busted out laughing.
Goes, oops.
Yeah. But he's just the best.
Funny,
yeah, but he just exudes, you know, that sort of he just got that years of acting experience. So from a director's point, when you're acting in the movie as well, and you're dealing with the movie now, you didn't obviously you couldn't actually start fires in the forest, you know, and you're pulling all this together. You know, to me that just seems near damn impossible to be directing and acting at the same time.
You know, I mean, if I would have done it from the beginning, it would have been more nerve-wracking. But because I was already in the midst of it, it just, you know, it was something I had to do. So I just jumped in. But yeah, I'm proud that this film, while we were filming it, we had no practical fire. We had some fire bars we're in the middle of the woods. The last thing we want to do is start a fire.
Right.
Bad PR.
9 die in film about fighting fires.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So we were very cautious, and we had a great CGI team and a lot of stock footage. Now the fire's so good I can't tell the difference between the two, but it really it's a really exciting movie. I hope people check it out.
Yeah, the footage is dazzling. I mean, and the fire stuff looks thoroughly convincing. I have to ask you, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you. You come from obviously the Twilight series. People would know you as Dr. Carlisle Cullen. That fandom was insanely robust at the height of it, but has it diminished? It still seems pretty prominent. Do you still get that all the time, or has it abated a bit?
You know, I have the best fans in the world. Honestly, they've stuck by me for years, even before Twilight, and then that fan base grew with Twilight, and they're so lovely, so kind, and I go to Comic-Cons and I see them. They come out, and so they're beautiful, and I hope all the fans go see this one and stay with me on this one.
Sure. Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Peter,
if you like Twilight, you'll love On Fire.
If you like Twilight, you'll love On Fire.
In On Fire, is this based loosely on specific people and a specific fire, or is it based exactly on specific people and a specific fire?
It's inspired by true events. So they took an amalgamation of a couple of different stories, and they created this one. But it is, based on a lot of those true events. So the things you see in there are true, and it kind of gives some tips about how you can fireproof your house. And like you said, takeaways of get the hell out if there's an evacuation notice. Mm-hmm. So the beauty too is watching this family grow through this journey too. You know, in a lot of these survival family movies, the dad's always the hero, but in this movie, like, every character has their heroic moments. My wife has her heroic moment, my son, and we work together, which is a really beautiful family thing to do. So it's a good family movie.
Well, it does something also because you have the family, and every family has issues, and they have problems, and they have things that they're dealing with, but suddenly when you put it contextually up against something as potentially catastrophic as this, it makes you realize, it gives you perspective.
Yeah, that's another beautiful takeaway. The dad in this film, my character is saddled with all these bills and stress, and when he's saddled with trying to just survive the night, at the end of that journey, he realizes if he has his family, he has everything, which is another beautiful takeaway. Yeah. And then at the end of the film, we also give tribute to firefighters and 911 operators. There's a great 911 operator storyline that's helping us through the film. So if you have a firefighter or first responder in your family, buy them a ticket because they'll enjoy it, and it's dedicated to them.
Excellent. We'll do it. All right, Peter, thank you so much for checking in. On Fire in theaters tomorrow. Good luck with everything, Peter, Patsy, and Ali. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Take care. We'll see you soon. All right. Yeah, it looks like that's crazy that the majority of it, I didn't even think about that. The fact they're actually filming in a forest. Why would you actually light things on fire?
You couldn't do that
if you're in a forest. But that fire looks real.
I'll tell you what the deal is. There's so much high level HD footage of forest fires that exist now. It's been chronicled so much, and you've seen that. Like recently, there was the footage of the guy. It was the state. The forest ranger driving through
the people that end up driving through those things and take video of it. You can't believe it unless you see it. I mean, how does anybody survive that? It's crazy. Okay, what's the Jackie Bam Bam Christopher Columbus story, Casey?
Okay, so Columbus Day's coming up.
1492.
Okay. But it's also called Indigenous Peoples Day.
Right.
Yes.
Indigenous.
Oh, boy.
Boy, did he have a hard time pronouncing indigenous.
Indigenous?
Yeah, I had to break it down into, like the different syllables. I'm like, and then so he did that.
So what was the first swipe at it like?
So he didn't know what indigenous people meant. And so then I had to give him a history lesson on Christopher Columbus.
Right.
And then he had asked about them, with the Pilgrims. I said, no. Those guys came over on the Mayflower.
The Mayflower.
They came over on the Mayflower.
Right. Christopher Columbus brought the Pilgrims over.
Yeah, so I'm like, Columbus came over. It was the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. And he's like, whoa.
The Pips.
How do you remember this stuff? And for a second there, it actually made me feel pretty good. I was like, how do I remember this stuff? Like, these are things that I learned in like grade school, and
I'm not a professor, and yet I remember it.
Yeah, I remember it. And so I was giving him basically a history lesson. I was blowing his mind with this history lesson of Christopher Columbus. And I go, and I'm like, so they call it Indigenous People Day because, as it turns out, he wasn't that great of a guy. He came over and he wiped out a bunch of Indians or whatever. I'm like, so it didn't get into the whole social aspect of it all. But man, was he completely blown away. And then I was like, wait a second, was he Spanish or was he Italian? He was Italian and the Spanish monarchy sent him, or was it? Okay, that's what. So I had said that, and I was like kind of just blowing myself away with like how much I actually remembered and knew about Christopher Columbus.
What time of day was this conversation?
Oh, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's okay. I thought so. Was it today?
No, it was it might have been yesterday. Okay. It might have been yesterday morning. Yeah, he likes to. When he's on his way into work and when he's on his way home from work, he has his phone numbers that he calls.
Well,
and,
by the way, Jackie, especially on Friday morning and Thursday morning, usually he wasn't here today, but 4 a.m., 4:30 in the morning, he's here.
He was
He
here.
is working on his show, especially the Friday night you call it.
No,
He was
I saw
here
him
this morning,
on my way in this morning, he was here.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I got here
I don't know
like
how I missed him.
5:15 or so, and we had a nice conversation in the parking lot. He was recapping some of the Mummers stuff from over the weekend, and it's. For me, Casey, I get what you're saying. It's a nice way to start the day for me because he's so happy and it's cool to see him. But it has to be relatively brief at that time because otherwise it's a little taxing.
Well, he will not call me once if I don't answer. So if I don't answer, I always get a second call.
Okay.
And dude, he called me in the middle of the It's Always Sunny thing, right? And he called me 3 times.
You were there.
And then the third time,
You're
I was
in the
like,
audience.
dude, I'm at a show right now. I'm not going to answer the effing phone. He's like, oh, yeah.
He had a question about Gino Vanelli.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Gino Vanelli. I'm the one that opened up that can of worms.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And then, I just want to stop and tell you what I feel about you, babe.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I do
He's the
appreciate
best,
that.
though.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to buy him a green muchacho the next time I see him.
All right. Very good. You guys want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Is it the most annoying or scary?
Actually, it's the scariest sound in the
Okay.
world. I was playing off of
Dumb and Dumber.
And you missed it.
I know.
You missed it.
Well,
That's your jam. It's your movie.
that is my.
All right. Well, anyway, Steve sent me over this. There's a piece of audio and an article that came along with this. It's been described as the scariest sound in the world.
A little bit of hyperbole, but it is certainly scary.
Somewhere between a spooky gust of whistling wind and the scream of 1,000 corpses.
They also added in the sound of Jackie asking about Christopher Columbus.
Now experts have recreated the noise of the Aztec death whistle. And they built a new version of the legendary instrument with a 3D printer. They created their new whistle based on the design of the skull-shaped original, which was found with a skeleton in Mexico in the late 1990s.
Wait, so it's a whistle?
It's a whistle.
It's a whistle.
There was an Aztec, actually, no, it was a Mayan death slide whistle, which was less impactful.
Okay.
It's thought that the skull-shaped whistle may have been used by Aztecs before they were killed in ceremonies to honor the god of wind, which I don't even know how to pronounce this. Kayaki.
Call Jackie. He probably knows.
Heactl. I don't know. A heactl. EHECATL. So
That's Dick Clark.
Cthulhu. I don't know. In the Aztec creation myth, 2 gods gathered in a sacrificial fire and became the sun and the moon, but they were immobile until this thing blew on them. And this has been deemed the most terrifying sound in the world, according to the person that presented this live. His name is James J. Orgill. And so it was back in 1999. The original Aztec death whistle was found, held in the hand of a headless skeleton during an excavation of an Aztec temple in Mexico City. So we'd like to, I haven't heard this yet.
Just real quick, Aztec Death Whistle. That's a great band name.
That
It
is
is.
a great
It's
band
awesome.
name. Yeah.
It's like Five Finger Death Punch.
They could open for them.
Yeah.
All right. Where is it, Case?
Well, I have it in the stack here, and then I have them on hotkeys. So
Okay. All right.
You choose.
We'll do this in the stack. So I haven't heard this yet. It is, it's only 2 seconds long.
Yeah.
Okay, so quickly, here is the Aztec death whistle. That's pretty cool.
That's like it sounds like a woman screaming.
It does.
Yeah.
So that's somebody blowing into a whistle?
Right.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
It's pretty heavy duty, right?
Your goat thing right there, Steve.
Yeah.
You ready here?
And then here's my goat.
Pretty damn close. Hang on. Duncan on the phone line has an Aztec death whistle, he says. So let me go to him. Hey, Duncan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How you doing, man?
Good. Yes, I just was calling in. I keep one in my truck. Just mostly for fun, but honestly, I live out in the woods.
Okay.
Do you have it?
We have to hear it.
Oh yeah. Let me grab it here just a second. Give me
You believe him?
No, I don't. But I want to hear what he's coming up with.
All right, go ahead.
No, we're good. So this thing, I have people that trespass, and because I stock my waters with trout in the backyard.
Right.
So I'll let it rip from time to time.
Okay, let's hear it.
And keep them off. Here we go.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
That sounds like it, dude.
Shut up.
That's insane.
That sounds more intense than the one we just played.
Play it. Do it again.
I'll do one more here.
All right. I love that.
I would go.
All right.
I would dive into the creek and drown myself.
Right?
If I
If you heard
that.
They need to use that at like haunted houses.
Of course.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
at haunted hayrides and things.
I wonder if they do.
All right, so Duncan. So the story that we read is that this has just been like newly reproduced. How long have you had this?
This honestly, I bought it off Amazon. For 20
I'm on Amazon right now, dude.
What's the big deal?
Yeah,
You can get this thing on Amazon.
So this is apparently an original.
Wow.
It's based off a 3D image of an original Aztec death whistle, but we're looking at Amazon. You can get it for $7.
Duncan, you want some Saw X movie passes, dude?
Yeah, that sounds sick.
All right, so hang on. I'll get
Bring
you
your
some.
whistle.
He deserves those,
No doubt.
man. That's that was badass.
Yeah. Can we get one more?
Wait, he's gone.
Oh.
Or wait, no, I put him on hold. Hang on a second. You want one more time?
One more.
All right, Duncan, we have an encore request, please. One more time, if you don't mind.
Just one more.
All right.
Dude, his neighbors are like, what is going on?
I want a horn on my car like
It's like that. Sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, all right, hang on, Duncan. That's badass. All right, by the way, Saw X, most disturbing installment of the Saw franchise yet explores the untold chapter of Jigsaw's most personal game, Saw X, which is in theaters September 29th. So a little bit more about this. It was 15 years after they discovered this thing that scientists blew into the hole in the top of it, and that sound came out. So it just
Blow into this hole.
They thought it was an artifact and didn't have a purpose to it, but then they blew into it, and then they heard that noise.
Yeah.
And although the exact purpose of the death whistle has been lost to history, there are several leading theories. Some experts think the Aztecs likely used the noise to help people's souls travel to the afterlife when they were sacrificed.
Yeah.
Perhaps the original...
They were big on the sacrifice.
I know, it's crazy.
Human sacrifice, a major part of their history.
Perhaps the original skeleton was buried with the device as a protection to scare away evil spirits as they left this world, but the whistle may also have been used by warriors to strike fear into the hearts of the enemies at the beginning of a battle. I can see that.
I see an application to people who are constipated.
Yeah.
You blow that and it'll scare the crap out.
Loosen them up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but apparently there's a scene in Ghostbusters Afterlife where one of the kids, and he's hanging out with Paul Rudd, blows into this Aztec death whistle, and so it's a part of the movie.
Okay. The shape of the whistle mimics the shape of a human larynx, according to the experts. Once the user blows into it, the air is split in two, creating oscillating sound waves that circulate around a large chamber before escaping from a second hole. Some of the whistles have a ball inside of the chamber, often made of cork, which bounces around and further distorts the sound. So that's like a like a
natural whistle,
like a coach's whistle, or something like that.
So for the Aztec football team, that's what they responded to.
That scream.
Remember, losers get sacrificed.
Wow.
And then one more.
Can you guys do the...
Oh, yeah.
I cannot. You can, Case. Very nice. Kathy, can you do that?
Mm.
Whistle, whistle,
One more time.
Warm up.
Oh, I did it.
There you go. Kathy just did it.
Wait.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not good. I used to be
Nice.
better.
That's you?
That's me. I can do it.
Well done.
So how'd you do it?
I just cupped my hands and no.
And then she
Steve.
went,
No,
That's me.
Steve, look at my hands. Like this.
Oh,
not
like you're doing
that.
a palm fart.
yeah, you got
think-
it. Yeah,
yeah,
like that.
kind of.
Oh, you were interlocking the fingers? That's why. No, you don't interlock the fingers.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah,
you
like
go.
that,
That's
like
it.
that.
That's
And
why you couldn't do it. And you make it hollow inside.
Hello.
Holla.
Whistle.
Close your thumbs together, Steve.
I pitch whistle.
All right, here, I'm going to try it.
A little practice. You can get it.
You're playing Aqualung on your head.
Good, Casey.
No, it's not Aqualung.
No, it's Bungle in the Jungle. All right.
By the way, I forgot to mention with the Jackie Bam Bam thing.
Yes.
After I told him that they came over on the Nina Pinta and Santa Maria, he asked if they came over on horses. And I said, no, boats.
He thought the horse's names were Nina Pinta and Santa
I
Maria?
don't know what he thought,
All right.
but I'm like, there's a giant body of water between us and those countries.
I think it was Froken's money things.
He was probably
Froken's money thing.
Froken's money things. All right. So anyhow, if you want an Aztec death whistle, get it on Amazon.
Get it for the Halloween.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
That would be a good one. Speaking of Halloween and the like, Chia Pet launched 3 brand new horror products just in time for Halloween. They have the Addams Family Wednesday Chia Pet, the Addams Family Thing Chia Pet, and the Ghost Face Chia Pet now available.
I can't believe Chia Pet's still a thing.
Dude, I love
They're
them.
huge.
We got one a few years ago, and it was fun.
You know, though, I don't see a Wednesday wouldn't translate. Wednesday has those long.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be her hair. She has the braids.
Yeah, I want to.
By the way,
Because
go ahead.
I looked at this, they actually have some other horror Chia Pets from their line that from years past, and one of them I'm going to get for somebody, which is the Cthulhu Chia Pet.
Yeah.
And so I thought it would have been like the face that grows out or whatever, but it's actually the hair. I don't remember Cthulhu having hair.
Who's Cthulhu? I don't know.
From the H.P. Lovecraft?
You've seen the character. It has all these tentacles coming out of its face.
Gotcha.
It's a creature that surfaces in those writings. The Wednesday was just up on the screen here.
Can
If
you
could
pull
put
that back up,
I'm trying to
please?
see where the chia comes into the whole scenario.
The plant that she's looking at.
That seems kind of lame, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's like she's at a chia store.
That's lame. So she's looking down at something. I don't even know what that is. And it grows.
They should actually put it down about midway down her body.
The chia, make it a bush.
Chia bush.
Shut up. In the history of chias, somebody has had to do a 70s bush chia.
So one of my favorite things at home, I bought 2 of them. I bought 2 Wednesday series things, and in a lot of the videos I do things just sitting right behind me.
I love it.
What? It's like a realistic looking
with the stitches. That's what
regular
they showed.
size
Yeah,
hand?
Wednesday put the stitches on the hand, which is great. Yeah, so it's that full thing sitting behind me.
All right, so the thing Chia Pet, he's walking on the grass,
which is kind of
fun.
They got an Alf one.
Casey, they have an Alf.
I know, but like it makes no. Now he has an afro. Like
I know.
an afro.
An Alfro.
Yeah.
All right, so the other scary ones, in case you're looking for something, you could probably get it now and have it grow out by the time Halloween arrives.
Yeah.
Or there's a Michael Myers Chia Pet. There's a Chucky Chia. Chucky Chia.
Chucky Chia.
Chucky Chia.
2 Chucky Chias and a macchiato.
Chia.
Yeah, a muchacho.
Then you have Pennywise the Clown. That one's pretty cool. Shut up.
What?
There's a David Hasselhoff Chia Pet.
Now that works.
There's a Bob Ross, and I think we have one of those. And that's perfect because that makes the fro, right?
I have that one.
But Hasselhoff,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Indiana Jones. Well,
That's
here's
excellent.
Willie Nelson makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks like he's in front of a bunch of
Does this
weed.
stuff actually grow?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, it's chia seeds, those things that you get at sometimes at like
Yeah.
a yogurt stand or something like that, or at a buffet. So that's what it is. That's what you grow.
Chia, Cthulhu Chia is just kind of weird.
but
Yeah,
like,
it is, isn't it?
Something with green hair makes more sense, like a Beetlejuice or the Joker, or who else has green hair?
Who else has green hair? I don't know. Also on this list is Gizmo from Gremlins. Then you have Elvira, the mistress of the dark Chia Pet. Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington Chia Pet, and the Cthulhu Chia Pet. So if you're interested in that for your scary season stuff.
Marcus Smart of your Boston Celtics, Casey. He had green hair for a stretch.
Jalen Mills.
Jalen Mills, yeah, when he was on the Birds. And that's it.
Billie Eilish.
Oh, yeah.
Green hair.
Here's a great photo of former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
With green hair. All right. One more scary thing.
Okay.
I like scary things.
And then
smoking funny things and
folk and smoney things. You had to have been with us earlier this morning to get that reference. So somebody we know was not let into Citizens Bank Park just the other night.
The alligator?
Joey Henney had Wally the alligator with him, his emotional support alligator, and they wouldn't let him in.
I mean, I could kind of see where they're
I
coming from.
understand. The Phil's website said guide dogs, service animals, or service animals in training are welcome. All other animals are prohibited. But he's a support.
Yeah.
Is what he says. He legitimately uses them. Henny is a longtime reptile rescuer. Worked with alligators for 30 years. Received his rescue pet alligator Wally from Florida in 2015. And although Wally was denied access to the game, it was seen giving out hugs to Phillies fans outside of the stadium.
Aww,
so
fella.
I don't think he was upset over this. If so, it wasn't in the article that he was angry or anything like that, but it didn't make the news. Wally came into Henny's life 7 years ago as a baby gator when he was removed from a lagoon in Florida due to an overabundance of alligators.
There was an alligator trying to get into a Panthers game with a human torso in its mouth. And they wouldn't let it in.
You can't bring in
No, you can't.
torsos to the game.
It says it right in the rules.
While emotional support pets may not get any special privileges under federal law, Wally is allowed to go almost anywhere with Henny, barring some restaurants that have rejected Wally's presence supposedly out of fear that the gator could carry salmonella.
That's a concern.
It's a legit concern.
Yeah.
How long do they live in captivity?
I don't know. They can listen. They can live a long, long time, I believe.
So chances are they will be able to see you later.
I don't.
All right.
I already did that one once.
You know what, though?
I did.
Your delivery, I didn't see it
was
coming.
good.
I did not see
Thank you.
dad joke coming on that particular one. Because I was going to legitimately tell you, I remember at the St. Louis Zoo, there was I think it was the oldest alligator in the world was living there for a while.
30 to 50 years, it says.
But this one was like 80 or 90 or something
Did it work
ridiculously
out?
long.
In
It must have.
In
A lot of
captivity,
cardio.
like if they're in a zoo, they can live 65 to 80.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess in the wild, it's a little more dangerous.
Yes, the numbers drop dramatically if they're NASCAR drivers.
That sport is more dangerous than
It's
people
very
realize.
How do they hold the steering wheel and
It's tough, right?
Yeah, okay.
That's hence the high fatality rate.
Yeah, for alligators.
So they're very good at drafting.
In NASCAR. All right, I want to take a break.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that very thing.
I think everyone wants us to take a break.
We need to remind you that coming up at 10 o'clock is your next shot at winning $1,000 Crumb Bum Cash. So don't miss out on that. And if you do, we would prefer you not, but it comes along again at noon and 3 and 5 p.m. But the next chance is roughly 20 minutes away. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
They will be punished in a manner consistent with the severity of their transgression. Furthermore,
you have to space out your syllables.
That's good. That's good.
Speak.
I will have a sarsaparilla.
I had mentioned earlier that I'm a fan of escape rooms. They're a fun activity that you can do with friends or family or coworkers. And basically the concept is you get placed into a room with a group of people, and there are a series of clues in this room, and there's some sort of a mission that you have to execute. Sometimes it's get a key and get out of the room. Other times it's you've got to solve a murder mystery, or you have to find a missing person or something like that.
It's like a real-world puzzle situation.
Yeah. And you're usually given a time limit, about an hour, to get through all the clues, work together, and achieve the mission. And then you're declared victorious. If not, then, well, you didn't make it. So we decided to incorporate that. I think we're going to go to our main man, who helms the, he's got the keys to MMR. He's the man about town, of course. Bill Weston, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, there we are. How you doing, Bill?
I'm okay.
All right.
All right.
We see you standing in front of it says 1313.
Oh.
Which is like the Munsters, yes.
So it's, I've been told it's the Bates Manor.
The Bates Manor.
Is the whole deal. And it's a mansion, and Mr. Bates apparently has a lot of cash on hand. And you guys are going to have to get in there and get it and get out. There's a safe somewhere in there that you need to crack. Get in, get the loot, and get out before the cops get there, which I assume is within an hour right after it starts.
He's the patriarch. He is Master Bates, right?
Yeah, he is Master Bates. No. So, Bill, we were going to set you up with Jackson and Matt Cord. Are they handy? Are they there nearby?
I have not seen them.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I don't know. It's rather strange for a disc jockey to be late.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? Maybe we can help you out. Let's see. Is there anybody else we might be able to substitute for? Because we got to get this underway.
Last minute replacements?
Maybe
is that even doable?
I don't know.
I also hear that there's going to be other members, like a couple other people besides Jackson and Matt. A newspaper reporter is going to come along with us because we act as a team.
Okay.
And you got to have at least 4 people to kind of figure out all the clues and try to advance into further rooms. And
well, you know what, Bill? I think we sent Nick down there because we wanted Nick to make sure everything ran smoothly, and Nick should be on location. Nick, could you see if there's anybody else that we could scare up because we do need to get this underway.
We can't be waiting fully. I mean, when they get there, they get there.
Yeah, if
Jackson
you've got,
Matt.
I think Nick can hear us. Nick, if you can bring, if there's anybody like cast members or whatever, if you can bring them on out.
Sorry, I'm now down the hallway. Hey, Bill, here's this is Pitchuation.
Oh, God.
Here, come on in, Pitch.
Intern Pitchuation.
Yeah, he's here with us. And this guy.
Who else we have?
We got a really tall guy.
Jackie Bam Bam.
Jackie Bam Bam. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And who else?
And last but not least, come on around the corner, young man.
It's Gary Lauer.
Oh my God.
He's locked in a room with Gary Lauer.
This is going to be the most cacophonous sounding radio bit with Nick's booming voice and pitch like glass shattering. Nothing but loud people in here.
Well, you know, it works out, Bill, because just by happenstance, the people we believe you'd most want to be locked up with are there around you right now.
Oh, and Bill, if you haven't figured it out, Jackson and Matt were never going to be down there being a part of this. We had this set up.
I thought there might be some type of prank going on here because Jackson never gets up for anything.
So we were wondering who Bill, and it's all about teamwork for this, and we thought, well, who might it be difficult for Bill to corral and get? So as much as we love Jackie and he's the most amazing overnight guy ever, he is a bit scattered. He's a little, all over the place.
I got microphones on me and my pants are falling down. He told me to wear pockets. I didn't wear underwear, but
there you go.
Any underwear?
Of course you didn't. And Pitch, he never wears underwear. Pitch, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, this is great. I can hear everybody back in the studio.
Hey!
Everybody. Hey! How's Billy doing? I know Bill Weston's having the time of his life.
Oh, my God. Do they say this is like a really great team-building exercise? I'm really wondering what the outcome is going to be.
Last but not least,
all of these people.
Let's see how the mayor of Juniata Park is doing. Gary, can you hear me?
This is going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah?
Kindergarten for adult males. I think we're going to have a wonderful time, children.
I think you painted the best picture simply by saying kindergarten.
Yeah, and by the way, Gary, we've elected you team captain.
Oh, it's going down. It's going down.
I believe you have 1 hour from the time this starts. So is there anybody there to officially begin this whole thing, Bill? Is Randy nearby?
Randy gave me a bit of an orientation, and like things like numbers on the wall and like there's locks, and I guess we got to find a key to get into the lock of the mailbox. Maybe that tells us how to get into the main door of the next room. And so, I guess
go ahead.
We're ready to get started.
We're looking at the collection here, Bill, on the monitor. It looks like the worst bachelor party ever.
All right, it started.
Clock is running. Go ahead in.
Go.
Let's do this. Let's do stuff. Let's do it.
Let's do stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So there's a lock on the mailbox. There's also a lock over here on this
Oh my gosh! The first thing is a puzzle. Oh.
This birdhouse. All right. There's a flashlight hanging on the wall.
Okay,
It doesn't work.
They can't hear us right now, so we're going to listen in, and I'll kind of describe what they're doing. They're searching around the front door.
What the heck is this? It looks like one of those mirrors that they stick under a car to see if you got a bomb under there.
There's probably something.
Use that to look up above, and maybe there's something.
Bill's got the right idea.
I don't think Jackie Bam Bam understands what's going on.
That's the thing.
I think he thinks this is a kid's birthday party.
Yeah, I talked to Jackie this morning, and I'm like, "Look, have you been briefed on what's going to happen?" And he kind of sent me back. I don't know. It's kind of I was just told we got to get out of a room or something. So he doesn't really understand the whole concept of it all.
And Gary looks like he's just like he's picking things up and looking at them, but even if it was a clue, he's putting it back.
All right, let's listen in. Hang on. There's Pituation laughing.
Oh,
Jackie found
thank
something.
you. I found a key.
Ah,
where's it going, Jack? Key? Under the mat. Under the mat.
All right.
Good catch, Peg.
Oh, you're welcome. How about the is it small? It's probably this one.
Yeah.
Okay, they're about to open up the mailbox out front. Let's see.
We got it.
Okay. All right, Jackie got it open. He found the key and he's getting it open.
Unlock the mailbox.
All right.
First, we have a letter inside the mailbox.
Let me try that key in this other lock.
What if Jackie's like a Manchurian candidate? Like he's been programmed, like he's Jason Bourne and doesn't know it.
He has no idea.
Yeah.
It's as requested. We've set your alarm code for a 4-digit number. Should you somehow forget the code, simply look around before entering the house. Please let us know if we can be of further assistance.
It'll probably be the number on the front.
Pointing to the 1313 house number on the side of the house. Where's it coming from?
Bill wants to know whose phone is ringing.
Phone off?
It's Gary. Gary's got a phone.
He's yelling at Gary.
I tell you, Gary goes out with a landline.
But is there a keypad?
That's an intercom.
That's an intercom.
It's once you go inside, there'll be a keypad.
There's a woman there. Is she part of the? Is she
I think she's
journalist?
the newspaper reporter.
There's another key in here. There's another key inside the mailbox.
I'll trade you that key for this kid.
All right, so even just getting in takes this long, Preston.
There's a legitimate newspaper reporter there?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Either that or it's Jackie's girlfriend.
Wait, look, Gary took the second key and he's trying to unlock the front door.
Try the front door. They got to remember the code when they get in.
Gary just opened the door.
Okay.
Next room, we spent 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
And Bill Weston did none of it.
No, Bill.
Nice to meet you.
Dolores
Read that. You got
He has to corral
What was the
them.
alarm code?
1313.
Where's
No,
the-
so 1313.
There's
Yes.
an alarm going off.
Yep. Hung on.
313.
Did it take it?
It took it.
They did it. Sometimes, Steve, they'll also they'll use computer monitors and so forth to send you if you're headed in the wrong direction for an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will send clues over to you.
Will they do it over your phone as well, or will they?
Not the ones I've done.
Okay.
Sometimes there's a monitor that's mounted in the room. You'll hear a little prompt, and you can go over and look at the monitor, and it'll say, have you tried this? And it'll give you a vague direction on which to go.
Oh, here's.
There's a video.
This is a painting that's speaking.
Oh, that's cool.
Make haste.
It's a video.
You must work quickly to find your way out. Make your way to the safe and take the fortune hidden inside.
That is cool.
Hey, Bill Weston, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It seems like you guys, we've been watching the entire time. The teamwork is going, it's pretty damn good so
Figure
far.
out which one it is out of all these murders.
Hey, Gary, can you shut up? Shut up. Say that again, Preston.
I said the teamwork seems to be in place so far.
And you just totally undermined his observation by telling Gary to shut up.
Well, no, everybody's working. It's good. We got a team here, and
we're doing stuff.
Are you guys impressed by just how this room looks so amazing?
Steve is absolutely right.
Randy was telling me that this is not just cheap side. Were you?
Whose phone keeps going off?
Pad making this noise?
It might be that pad.
They are stuck apparently at a point. They're attempting to play a game of chess, it looks like, and it's not going well.
Maybe they need some help. Bill, are you there?
I'm here, yes.
All right, Bill, are you guys stuck on a clue?
We're kind of stuck. Part of the thing is we had to find this chess book, and we configured the chessboard exactly in the diagram of the thing. But it just looks like a regular chessboard and pieces on top. It doesn't look like there's some hidden lever or something that's going to be exposed. So we're kind of stuck on it.
Does it look like a number or anything like that? Are the chess pieces in a number?
Oh.
Is there anything else that goes in conjunction with the chessboard besides just that book that's there?
Do we have to? Maybe we play the next move.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
But who knows whose turn it is? That's the thing.
So the black moved over here. He took the rook.
Set the board up exactly like it's in the book.
Okay, Randy sounds a little impatient.
Randy does sound impatient.
What are you guys, morons?
Maybe you need to double check it. Maybe
stupid.
Play chess every day.
Maybe he's saying you didn't do it correctly.
I'd rather play checkers. It's fun.
All right, so yeah, maybe you guys didn't set it up properly, and when you do, it will trigger something.
Okay. So bishop, pawn.
Gary has a magnifying glass.
Check that board.
Which he doesn't need to be using.
Wow. Look and see if there's something else.
Oh, this is straight up from Da Vinci Code.
Wow, that is wild, dude.
All right.
What am I hearing?
Oh, here, I got something.
Okay.
I cracked the cipher thing.
Oh, look, we opened the fireplace.
Oh, we did something!
We did something! Let me go first. I want the money.
How did that? Go ahead, Bill.
Quit yelling. Listen, grab them keys. All the keys, grab them. There's a metal box here. Access on the door.
Can you pull one?
Don't.
All right.
There we go.
Young Preston, we're going to do this, brother.
All right, ready?
Here we go.
Go for it. Okay.
All right, secret door.
We've got a.
We're in another room, I think.
We got another room.
They just opened a secret door. Bill, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You guys just got into a secret door, it looks like.
This is wild. Wow, there's a lot.
Oh my
We're in
God.
our third room,
These
Press.
people are so loud.
Jackie. Jackie, are you excited?
On the chain.
Flashlight's not working.
It's such a demure group.
Are you finding this pretty engaging? It looks like you're having a pretty good time.
Let me see if I can fix this.
I'm a little frustrated.
There's no lights in this third room, guys.
The chessboard was a difficult one because we didn't know the designation between a king and a queen, but
Okay.
it was pretty cool.
That's what the problem was. Okay.
All right, but just watching it looks fascinating.
Oh.
Oh, that's amazing. That's that's awesome.
Okay, it says Isaiah 11.
All right, I don't want to give
No, we
away
don't give
any
too much.
any clues, so I'm going to turn that down.
You know, it's a bit of revelation here, Preston. I think Gary Lauer has his thinking teeth in because he's doing a great job.
His thinking jam.
It's jam teeth. Preston, is this how it normally works where you go from room to room? Because I was under the impression you were in a room and you stayed in that room until you could get out.
No, sometimes there are rooms. I was in one time where it was a false wall and you had no idea. I have a fall activities update.
Oh, what is it?
The Bygone Flowers Workshop at Sycamore and Stone is coming up rapidly on Tuesday, October 3rd from 5 to 7. Kathy, Marissa gave me the list of all your activities.
Yes.
And to make sure that I kind of tease the events
I know.
leading up to them.
Yes, thank you.
So because some of them are time sensitive.
Yeah, so this one is time sensitive. I will say, I believe it's sold out.
Oh, really?
Yes, but Sycamore and Stone Farm has so many classes. Like, I can't believe that I haven't had this on my fall activities list before now. And I don't get to go to Chester County that much. So this is out in Chester County, and they have a number of classes. So if this, the Bygone Flowers Workshop is sold out, just check out the other classes. There's a ton of other ones. This is Jeff's place.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
And you go to PrestonandSteve.com, you get the entire list of fall activities right there for you.
You know what? Another good fall activity is beer and drinking and football. Fall activities. Tonight, I'll be in Manayunk for the Bud Light Thursday night kickoff party at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's at Manayunk Brewing Company, which we've been to many, many times. I wanted to get this plug earlier, and I totally forgot, so I apologize. But 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight, Bud Light is just an awesome sponsor for these things. We have a lot of fun. Every one of these that we do all year, all season long. Casey's doing a bunch. I'm doing a bunch. Marissa's doing a bunch. We're giving away Eagles tickets. So you come tonight, you have a chance to win Birds tickets. Please stop by 7 p.m., 9 p.m. tonight. It's Manayunk Brewing Company.
I love that. And you had, Nick, the last place that you were out doing, you said the gal who won it.
Oh, my God.
Was just ecstatic over the moon.
Yeah, she took a bus to get there. She took a bus from Brewery Town to get out. Her husband came and picked her up. It might have been the greatest winter I've ever experienced at any event of all time. Her name was Leslie. She couldn't have been happier. She has a Eagles tattoo, and she got to go to the home opener 3 Thursdays ago. So, yeah, come. You can a chance to win. It's a lot of fun and great Bud Light specials as well.
Excellent. All right, tonight, Manayunk.
Tonight.
the Manny Brewing Company. All right. Yeah, join Nick. And let's do the beat file. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, this morning it is brought to you by Liberty Safes of New Jersey on Route 130 in Bordentown and Route 73 in Mount Laurel. Online at libertysafesnj.com. Well, we'll start with this story. A Virginia man blamed his wife after TSA officers discovered a loaded gun in his carry-on bag.
Of course he did.
As he passed through a checkpoint at Reagan National Airport. He was carrying a .22 caliber pistol that was loaded with 5 cartridges.
Shut up, woman.
X-ray unit alerted TSA officers. Police confiscated the gun and cited the man on state charges. Officials say the man blamed his wife and told them that she packed his carry-on bag, and he didn't know what the loaded gun was. He didn't know that the loaded gun was inside.
I put your shaving kit and gun in your bag.
He faces a maximum $15,000 fine. I remember years ago there was a celebrity. I forgot who
Sam
it was.
Kinison.
Well, also Barry Switzer. He used to coach for the Cowboys.
Someone had planted it.
Oh, that.
So Sam Kinnison's ex or wife, or they were going through a hellacious time. I forget, it might have been a girlfriend, whatever. Long story short, they had a bad fight. She put a loaded .38 in his luggage just as he was getting on a flight.
That's a fun little prank, isn't it?
Yeah.
TSA says that 28 firearms have been confiscated this year at Reagan National Airport alone. Passengers are only permitted to travel with firearms in checked baggage, and even then, you got to make sure that it's okay to do it. Authorities in Las Vegas say a former Popeyes employee is in custody after he fired a gun through the restaurant's drive-through window. That's the second
story.
Shooting through a drive-through window that we've had this morning.
So let me ask you, which food would you more willingly get shot over?
Which food?
Yeah.
Popeyes.
Man. Oh, you mean of the two stories?
Yeah.
Curly fries or Popeyes?
Right.
Probably Popeyes.
Yeah.
And I don't get Popeyes all the time. Curly fries are they're not my thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. And Popeye's chicken is good.
If it were any food, it would be Emo's Pizza. You guys know that.
Oh, you get mowed down.
Yeah. Vegas police received multiple calls for a shooting at the Popeyes. Callers told police that an employee, later identified as David Bravo, had walked up to the drive-through window and fired one shot into the restaurant. So this time the bullets are going into the restaurant as opposed to out like the other way.
It's a change of pace.
A manager informed officers that she had just fired Bravo earlier that evening before he returned holding what appeared to be a silver handgun.
You know what? You got pluck. You're hired.
Bravo was reportedly upset regarding a scheduling change and got into an argument with another employee. He said that he was going to walk out if his shift was changed. A manager advised Bravo that if he walked out, his employment would be terminated. Bravo eventually walked out, and there was no further contact with him until the reported shooting. He took out a handgun from his waistband and began knocking on the drive-through window with it.
Yoo-hoo!
Employees moved away from the window at the sight of the gun, and while they did so, he fired once into the window, shattering it. Police say they recovered a 9mm cartridge and a bullet fragment from the scene. There was also a bullet hole in the wall that separated the employee work area from where the customers would stand to order their food. Another employee told police that Bravo was a relatively new hire. He is being held in custody. They took him without incident, and he's facing charges of attempted murder.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah. Two siblings, aged 10 and 11, drove away from their Florida home when their mother took away electronics as a punishment.
So they stole the car.
They stole the car. 10 and 11.
That's great.
The pair were planning to run away to California. Yeah. They drove 200 miles
My God. What?
before they were found.
Get 200 miles.
200 miles.
And they were 10 and 11. So the children's mother had reported the car stolen. And
Did they switch off, so the other one could
It's a
get a
good
break,
question.
take a nap?
And the children, she reported them missing, allowing police to quickly spot the vehicle. However, they believe that they were looking for a car thief. Much to their surprise, deputies observed a 10-year-old male driver exit the vehicle along with his 11-year-old sister.
Wow.
After an interview, police found no indication the children were mistreated, and the runaways were released back to their mother.
When I was a kid, and I forget what made me so upset, but I was running away from home, and my mother helped me, the classic, helped me pack my bag.
Yeah.
For some reason, my destination in mind, and I must have heard it on a TV show, was Albuquerque.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Went to Albuquerque a lot.
Albuquerque.
I had a friend of mine this was in junior high. She was probably like 13 years old. She and her friend stole her mom's car, and drove to Buffalo.
Buffalo.
From Missouri?
From Missouri.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why, but they just wanted to go
How old are
somewhere. They were like 13 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah, I do.
Can I help you, young lady?
Oh,
I'm a
Bill.
local radio personality.
Buffalo Bill.
Steve, I do remember. I never ran away, but I do remember being like, "Well, I'm gonna leave." My mom would be like, "Okay."
Good. Yeah.
You just stand there and stare at them.
Write us when you get to where you're going.
Actually, I think she used to say that. Write
Yeah.
me when you get there.
Yep. One last story. An Italian lawyer who used voodoo to attempt to kill a client has been convicted, even though there's no proof that voodoo magic can actually kill a person. Barbara Raimondo was sentenced to 18 months probation for using a voodoo witch to perform black magic against an elderly family friend. Raimondo stood in to inherit her house when the family friend died.
You're out of order. Your voodoo witch is out of order.
The Italian Penal Code allows for the conviction of, quote, impossible crimes.
It allows for the conviction of impossible crimes. That seems sort of moronic.
It does.
Because
I agree.
right in the name, impossible crimes means it's impossible.
But Raimondo's lawyer...
Or is it like Impossible Burger?
...will appeal the decision. My client, he said, believes in sorceresses. But we believe that in the appeal, indigenous, that we appeal...
Indigenous?
This accusation will be dismissed. In addition to the voodoo charge, Raimondo was also found guilty of embezzlement, too.
Now go to that voodoo.
That you do so well. All right, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you, and it is now 10 o'clock.
93.3 WMMR, Philadelphia.
You're a real crumb bum.
It's time for a Crumb Bum Cash keyword.
All right, and the word is Lauga. No, it's laugh. L-A-U-G-H. It's spelled like Lauga. It's L-A-U-G-H. Laugh is the word. And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. There are 3 ways for you to do it. Enter it at WMMR.com or via the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley, so make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com, sponsored by Horizon Services. Again, the word is laugh. That is our Crumb Bum Cash keyword, so enter that now. We are going to take a break. We'll return in just a moment, and we'll get the lesson question, the trash, the music news as well. Stay there. And then we did something, and all of a sudden it creaked open, and you're like, "Oh my god!" You know. So, or you're like, "Does that door open?" I have no idea. And eventually you find a key, you open it, like, yes. And then while you are excited about that, then you have a whole new room of clues that you got to go through. There it is. You have a whole new room of clues. You're like, oh my god, here we got to start over again. But then again, there might be things in that room that pertains to something that was 2 rooms ago that you need to have remembered. It's cool stuff.
Well, Gary Lauer, did you hear that you have 2 minutes and 40 seconds?
We're working on it, Casey Foster. We're working on it, brother.
Thank you.
We're dripping. We're dripping with sweat here.
They're dripping.
I just wanted to gag now.
My balls are sweaty.
All right.
Maybe just do it in.
Hang in there, sweet tea. We're going to
They're actually working on the combination of the safe.
Yeah, it's
Bill is very happy.
Bill's looking at the camera.
You can tell by his shaking the head no.
He looks deflated.
You don't have another one?
Time ran out.
Time ran out. That's it. All right.
Sorry, never tripped.
Sorry, guys.
You
Time's
guys
up.
were this close. We did everything. All you had to do was crack that safe.
So Randy's coming in to tell them what they did incorrectly and what they need to do to finish it. So
what's the other number?
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Thank you to Randy Bates at Bates Motel and Bates Motel Escape Room.
Oh, very exciting.
Bill Weston, Jackie Bam Bam, Pitchuation, and Gary Lauer for participating in that event this morning. And if you've never done an escape room, and this one, looking at the video, and I've done a few of them myself, looks top notch.
Nearly 2 million people are under evacuation orders in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, where residents stocked up on supplies and boarded up homes as Hurricane Matthew marches towards the U.S. We have. Do we have some clips from?
Here you go.
No.
No, this is not working at all.
What is it? What were you hitting?
I'm hitting the button that starts whatever is on the Vox Pro to play.
Nothing.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's frozen, guys.
That's all right. At least
I give today's show a 10 so far.
A 10 so far. How do we achieve a 10? There we go. So early.
It's like 10 minutes in. At least 16 deaths in the Caribbean have been blamed on the storm, with heavy damage reported in Haiti. As the early morning approached Thursday, Matthew was centered about 295 miles southeast of West Palm Beach and moving northwest at 10 miles per hour.
10.
16.
10! My mother and sister live in Florida now. They live on the Gulf side. They live near Tampa and St. Petersburg. The people there are so desensitized.
They are.
To these huge storms. I'm like, Mom, you guys, I mean, over the years, I've been like, Mom, are you guys gonna head north? She's like, nah, we'll just, we'll just stay here. And
you know how they, the 24-hour news cycle wants to amp up everything. But they're saying this one, yes, be really cautious of this one. It's hitting hard against the state.
It's going to be a Category 4 when it hits land there.
Right. Will she at least, I mean, I don't see your mother out there plyboarding the windows or anything like that, but...
She bought some plyboard.
What is that, plywood?
Plyboarding.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Plywooding the windows.
Boarding up.
Boarding up the windows, but they do it with plywood. Anyway, does she have... like special shutters that cover the windows?
No, well, she lives in a condominium like community or apartment complex.
Yeah, I was down in Florida. This was years ago when a storm was coming through. I have family that lived down there my whole life, so we were down there. A storm was coming through, and I remember my aunt was like, "Okay, let's go open all the windows," and I was like, "Open the windows?
Yeah.
What?" There was a tornado coming through, and we had to open all the windows, and then we were hiding in like doorways. It was pretty damn scary.
That growing up in kind of the Tornado Alley area, that was...
Oh, my God! Tornado!
That was me.
The belief was that if you open the windows, it kind of depressurizes the inside of the home and your windows won't explode. But I think it's been proven false, but some people think that you're supposed to open the windows.
And it was pretty scary. Like, that wind was whipping through the house. I mean, stuff was flying all over the place.
Well, you hope the best for them down there. I mean, Haiti got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just...
I said plyboard. I meant to say plywood boards. I just let down the word wood. Let's move on.
Okay, we're going to move on. A second 12-year-old has been arrested and charged following another clown threat against a school in Toms River. On Tuesday evening, police say that at no time was there any credible threat, and it appears to be an ill-conceived hoax. The girl was arrested and charged with third-degree criminal count of causing false public alarm.
Anyway.
That's fast.
So we have that
isolated now, yes.
Anyway.
And it's so loud.
So today when you're dropping by the 10 store to pick up your plyboard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was like the start of his Broadway show.
I loved it, man. My favorite part of the day so far.
Anyway.
And it's early.
It is.
And that's going to continue for the rest of the morning.
All morning. Nick just pulled this up. We're going to talk about something else, but I can't not mention this. Bob Dylan won a Nobel Prize.
Wow.
Was he awarded a Nobel Peace Prize, huh?
Literature Prize.
Literature.
Yeah. The 75-year-old rock legend received the prize for, quote, having created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. Yeah.
So he didn't win a Peace Prize.
No, he didn't win the Peace Prize. He won the Literature Prize.
It's kind of interesting that he won a Literature Prize for a body of work, not something that was just released.
Specific.
Right?
Yeah, it's usually, by my understanding, it's awarded for something. For example, who was the last recipient? And they won for a specific work.
I'll look it up.
Nick, you know off the top of your head. You know what? I don't know. But yeah, usually it's for...
Like Harper Lee. Didn't she win for...
Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
To Kill a Mockingbird? Or was it her laser tag place that she won?
Harper Lee, do you love the thrill of combat? Set against a futuristic dystopian world? Well, then you gotta try laser tag. Pew, 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 pew. I'll kill you, you cyborg mother effer.
Let me see here. Nobel Prize Literature, Bob Dylan, 2016. Svetlana Alexievich won last year. I don't.
That's where he had the 18th Where's Waldo book. Apparently, it was the most difficult time finding Waldo.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyhow, he's got a Nobel Prize under his belt now. So.
What do you get? It's like a WWE belt, right?
Yeah, it's a lot like that. No, I have no idea what the actual prize looks like. It's got to be I don't know, some kind of a plaque or,
a hat that says I'm number one?
That's a good question.
I think for the Nobel Peace Prize, you get something like $250,000. It's a significant chunk of change.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what you get for
An Amazon credit.
And Amazon, yeah.
In Amazon credits.
Oh, my God.
Kathy,
dream come true.
Forget it.
Casey.
Yeah.
He went in and heard a piece of audio from our previous break, and he came in. I don't think I've ever seen you that beat red, laughing that hard and unable to breathe before.
Oh, God, I just hope this is as funny for you guys.
He said it may not be funny for us, but it clearly floored him.
Because...
And what happened? You caught it.
No, you know what? Actually, a listener, and they texted in. Usually I hate the text board. But somebody texted in something they heard that none of us heard. So we went back and Marissa pulled up the audio. And, listen, we've worked with Kathy for how many years now?
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
No one knows.
And
is it 28 years?
13 years.
Yeah, 13 years.
So what I heard and what this listener heard is so out of character for her that it just floored me. And when you take it in that context, not the context of how it was meant, but how it is heard.
All right.
Oh my God! What? Just play it.
All right, here we go. It's very short. It's 4 seconds long.
Accidentally at the same time,
right?
Yeah.
So she says, listen. And then
now I can cut that out. I can cut the, all right, now it's just the good part.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As if she's saying, listen, I'm going to fart.
Guys.
And listen to me fart.
Listen, guys.
If it was cleaner.
Yeah,
if there
got
wasn't,
cut
if
off.
Steve is talking over her. Yeah. That's Nick, I think, but.
Maybe I can clean it up.
You ruined it, Nick.
No, it's
way to go, Nick.
Hang on, you're going to try and edit this on the fly?
Yeah, try it there.
Oh. Yeah.
The sound.
WMR one more time. Marissa was bringing me up to speed because I haven't really stopped to listen to the lyrics and check out the poignancy of that song, but it's about those guys getting it back together after all this time, and how unfortunately a lot of terrible things had to happen in between, and got them thinking about each other and getting back together. She said Pierre was running down the story of it and had her in tears.
Yeah.
The other day. So music, very emotional. It's a wonderful thing. Can move you to tears or move you to dancing or move you to, I don't know, Moken's funny things. Or Fokin funny things. I'll figure it out. Fokin's funny things. All right. Today's lesson question prize is a 4-pack of Hershey Park tickets that we will give away if you can answer a question to us. All right. For our resident news expert, Kathy Romano, finish this catchphrase. Enough of the news. Now back to the what. So this is one of our earliest lesson questions, because that was from 6:15 this morning when Kathy was doing the news. So for our resident news expert, I will be impressed if someone gets this. If not, no big deal. For our resident news expert, Kathy Romano, finish this catchphrase. Enough of the news. Back to the what? 215-263-WMMR. While you're calling, we'll do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Bates Motel. Half-price tickets for a very limited time at WMMR.com. Use the keyword deal. It's our big friggin' deal. And let's see what's going on this morning. Steve, what do you have for us?
Well, Colin Kaepernick, who recently compared the NFL to antebellum slave owners, reportedly wrote to the New York Jets after Aaron Rodgers was injured, asking them to consider signing him. Said Kaepernick, quote, about that whole slave owner thing. I hope you didn't take it the wrong way. Bradley Cooper, seen out and about in New York City sporting a new buzz cut. Cooper says he wanted a complete break from playing Leonard Bernstein, but did admit that he was using that large prosthetic nose as a condom.
Oh my God.
And finally, Katy Perry dropping some obvious hints that she's going to be part of a new Peppa Pig movie. Perry would not specify which character she would be playing, but it is reasonable that character will have enormous breasts.
Oh. Yeah.
And that's your Hollywood.
Let's see if someone does indeed know the answer to this question for our resident news expert, Kathy Romano. Finish this catchphrase. Enough of the news. Back to the what? And we will go to Chris. See if we can get the answer. Hey, Chris, good morning. Chris.
Yes.
All right, Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, Chris, enough of the news. Now back to the
booze.
Yes, the booze. Well done, my man. Hang on. You just got yourself a 4-pack of Hershey Park tickets. How about that? And Hershey Park Halloween is now open. Friday through Sunday, you can buy your tickets now at HersheyPark.com and visit this weekend, of course.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Bad Fish in a tribute to Sublime this Saturday at the TLA. Doors open at 7. All tickets are free while supplies last.
I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that.
No, 21 and over. It's Bad Fish at TLA this Saturday, presented by Nova Farms. All right, we'll start with the fact that Bruce Springsteen has pushed his remaining 2023 tour dates to next year, like all of them. He postponed his September shows to receive treatment for peptic ulcer disease.
My peptic ulcer, Kathy.
And what is that again?
So an ulcer is when, like, the lining in your stomach becomes really, really thin, and can basically cause a hole.
And it causes a lot of pain, I think.
Yeah, very much so.
So is that it? Is that just the official or the medical term for it?
I've never looked up the word peptic. I know that like Pepto-Bismol, that comes from peptic.
It's different.
But no, it's in that general area of your stomach. So I don't know. Nick's going to look that up real quick and see if we can get an answer for you. A statement on his socials read that he is steadily recovering and will continue treatment through the rest of the year on doctor's advice. Bruce wrote, "Thanks to all my friends and fans for your good wishes, encouragement, and support. I am on the mend and can't wait to see you all next year."
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you're describing, Preston. It can affect a bunch of different layers in the digestive system, including the esophagus, but it can be really burning and ache and just bad abdominal pain for long stretches, and certainly would make it difficult to sing and or perform on stage.
Especially him.
Yeah, he runs around like a madman.
New dates will be announced next week and will take place at the originally scheduled venues. Already purchased tickets will remain valid. Earlier this week, Rolling Stones released a short teaser for one of their songs, Sweet Sounds of Heaven. We played that yesterday. Lady Gaga is featuring it, and I had said there's a little piano part, and I'm like, I wonder if Lady Gaga is playing piano on that. No, Stevie Wonder.
Oh!
At least I assume it's Stevie Wonder, because it says here that Stevie Wonder and Lady Gaga are featured on the song, and I didn't hear him singing in the tease clip, so I assume that's him on piano. As of today, it's officially their new single. Sweet Sounds of Heaven is from their upcoming album, Hackney Diamonds, which is set for release on October 20th. Elvis Costello has announced a U.S. tour for next year. I didn't see any dates in our area. That doesn't mean that they won't expand.
I've seen him a number of times, and most of the times he's great.
It's called the 707 Tour. We'll kick off January 10th in Tallahassee. And along with his Imposters bandmates, he'll be joined by longtime Bob Dylan collaborator, guitarist Charlie Sexton.
Wow.
I didn't know Charlie Sexton worked with Bob Dylan.
Neither did I.
So Charlie Sexton was 1980s, had a song called Beat So Lonely. He was 16 years old.
Right. He was kind of a phenom.
And guitarist, and kind of had this David Bowie vibe to his vocals. But, and I guess he went and worked with Bob Dylan. But tickets go on sale Friday for those shows. And then one last thing, U2, Atomic City, the song will premiere tonight with Jackie Bam Bam. He'll have it at midnight. All right. In fact, it'll be 12:01 or so. We have to wait officially until Friday to be able to play it. And
whether you're an immigrant or indigenous,
I have no idea what the tone of the song is going to be as of yet. So it'll be exciting. I've heard tell that it's a good tune.
Yeah,
Bill Weston, I think,
very excited about that.
Heard it and commented on it. So that'll be tonight. You can expect that with Jackie Bam Bam right after midnight. So do not miss out on that. And that is all.
That's excellent.
Yes. All right, we'll take a break. When we return, letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. Word of the Week prize, indigenous. And we'll wrap up the program, see what Pierre's got going on. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Beforehand.
Could you do me a favor, Kathy, and just say, "Listen to me fart," and then play that? Could you do that clean? Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, just say it.
No.
Oh no, you don't want to do that and have that live on as a clip that we play 200 times a day?
No, I'm good.
What don't you want to say, Kathy?
No, it's fine.
Sacha Baron Cohen has his birthday as well. He is 45 years old. What's the last thing he did?
Brothers Grimsby was the name of that.
That's it, yes.
Oh, you just knew that, huh?
Waiting, man.
Just off the top of your head, you just knew that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
That's
so inside for us, but we needed that for a minute.
We'll explain it. Bill yesterday said he wanted to make sure that Nick didn't come off as too know-it-all-y.
And that he should say, I found this on the internet.
And I had to clarify to Bill that I had asked Nick to look for the information that he provided. And I think people know that we say it all the time. Nick, can you check that on Wiki for us or rock us a wiki? So Nick doesn't profess to be the resource of all the world's knowledge.
Casey, had you just been waiting for the first moment to say
Not
that?
the first moment, but there was a scene there. And I told him yesterday, I'm totally going to do that to you.
That was
Chuck said yesterday, he's like, I can't wait to the passive-aggressive moment when you guys mentioned that on the air.
And here we are, bright and early.
Here we are. Oh, my God.
That was awesome.
I can discern a tonal change, too, when you're reading off the screen. You become robotic.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. When I read it off the screen, I get it right. Like when I come up with a fact on my own, chances are I'm wrong.
But that's kind of your charge. Is you're the one. We'll say all the time. Could you check that for us?
So you just knew that, huh?
I did just know that. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's last movie, The Brothers Grimsby.
All right, so he's
knew that.
But
off
that's
the top of my head.
But that's a classic Bill thing.
Yeah,
and that's why we loved it.
Well, we did pull up the some of the top costumes that have been chosen. I forgot what the source was, but number 7, Game of Thrones, any character from Game of Thrones.
All right, who would you go if you were to have, because you are a huge Game of Thrones fan, name your character of choice.
I'm trying to think who would be worth doing and what would be worth pulling off. Yeah, Jon Snow would be pretty awesome. You get a sword, you get this big black outfit.
What about the Hound? What about Phoebe Snow, his sister?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
What about the Mountain?
It'd be no. No, it wouldn't
The
be
Hill?
Mountain. No. Anyhow, moving along. Sexy Pikachu. So Pokemon's going to be popular because of Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
And Pokemon himself, right? Or not himself, but the Pokemon symbol.
Preston, you could go as Tyrion Lannister and dress like the
walk around on my knees.
Yeah,
put shoes on my knees.
Dwarf on golf. Yeah,
right.
You go as Dwarf on golf. Watch people try to figure that one out.
No. But he would put the shoes on his knees.
What's his name?
Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion.
Could you do Tyrion on golf?
Tyrion on golf.
So Game of Thrones, but with golf clubs.
It would be Imp on golf. Right.
Imp on golf.
Yeah. Then you have number Faye is Rey from Star Wars.
Number Faye?
Number Faye?
Did I say number Faye?
Yeah, because of Rey.
I just thought that was that is so. Wow, Preston knows all the hip words for 3.
And counting down from Faye.
And now
Three.
number Faye. He writes, Casey, I never understand what number the songs are because you're so hip and cool. You said Faye, and I was lost. So number Faye is?
Number Faye is Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah.
Ray
Charles.
Ray Charles.
No, from Star Wars.
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel?
Oh, my God. You could be Ray Finkel, and she could be Einhorn.
Oh, my God. Finkel and Einhorn. That's from Ace Ventura.
Yeah. No, I don't.
You don't know Ace
Ventura? That current movie.
I know Ace Ventura, but I don't remember
Finkel and Einhorn. Finkel and Einhorn.
Einhorn and Finkel.
Go as Ray, but make it Ray Charles in a Star Wars spacesuit.
Okay, I like it.
Number 4.
At number Faye.
Studies have found that the clothes we wear shape the perceptions other people have about our capability. For example, teaching assistants who wore formal clothes, they are perceived by students as more intelligent but less interesting than their casually dressed peers.
I wonder now with the frequency of dress down days and internet places like Google and Facebook where the dress is more casual, like smart casual.
Mm-hmm.
Is that perception changing?
Yeah, I think you can still dress smart casual and not dress like a slob, though. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly it.
So not
besmirching people who wear bib overalls to work.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but you don't need to be in a suit. You just need to be put together.
Yeah. I mean, you will always agree that my superhero T-shirts are
put
together. Yeah.
Well, I think Casey is the example.
I'm totally put together.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people say, are you doing any runway work?
Yes.
Because they assume you're a model.
We should do a fashion show with Casey.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You could walk the runway.
Okay.
He's up for it.
Yeah, I'm totally up for it.
Yeah.
I like my clothes.
For the derelict line.
Yeah. I wear nice clothes.
You do.
They're just casual nice.
They're as nice as mine.
Yeah.
You don't wear nice clothes.
These are nice pants.
And here we go.
Nice pants, nice. You got a nice pair of slacks.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure they feel nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I'm being honest. You wouldn't look at your outfit and go, wow, that's really nice.
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Now, Preston.
That guy looks like a gym teacher.
That is a snappy dressing gym teacher.
And I'm not putting you down by saying that, but you know what I mean.
This is a battle of semantics. Okay, so no, they are not dress jeans and a button-down shirt, but they are nice sweatpants.
Are you kidding?
They are nice.
An argument. That is not a real argument.
Where are your?
That's a good effort.
Where are your leather sweatpants, please?
I'm wearing clean sneakers and day-old underpants. We're good.
You almost made it through.
Yeah,
we're
good. I would love to see. There's that scene in the DiCaprio Great Gatsby. If we were to turn around with sweatpants, in the I'm the Great Gatsby.
Right.
Really.
I also noticed this thing that,
Back to the noticer. The dumbed-down version of the ponder.
We were talking earlier in the pondering segment about wearing glasses and appearing more intelligent, but you may need to leave them home for your next passport photo session. The State Department is reminding everyone that come November 1st, wearing glasses is no longer allowed in passport photos. They also don't let you smile anymore.
It depends.
Yeah. It depends?
Yeah, some people taking the photo will actually let you smile. There's a place out by Downingtown, and
Smiley's Passports.
No, like, there's only a few places where you can get these photos taken. Like, you have to go out of your way to get your passport photo taken and have it submitted properly. The one out in Downingtown, the guy's cool, and he's like, yeah, you can smile, don't worry about it. The guy down in Philly apparently is a bit of a stickler, and you're not allowed to smile.
Nick, do you have any idea as to is there actually though in effect a uniform rule or suggestion that you not smile? I guess they want you to look the way you would look generically
when you're angry and traveling.
when you're trying to
when you're standing in
commit
line,
an act of terrorism.
When you're standing in line at the
But when
the
I
TSA.
hand over, when you guys hand over your ID, don't you just smile sort of naturally, just to be polite? Like,
yeah,
hi,
hey, how you doing?
Right. So I think that's why this guy says it's okay.
I'm usually like, hey.
Hi.
My issue is that in my passport photo, I'm wearing wax lips.
Yeah.
And so I have to
and that you're
bring
not
them
allowed.
with me.
Come November 1st, you won't be able to do that, Steve. An announcement on the State Department website explains this change will help eliminate glares and shadows that can lead to delays in processing visas and passport applications. Applicants may wear glasses only in rare circumstances of documented medical necessity during urgent travel.
All right, I don't know why I'm asking, but I'll ask. Facial recognition ID programs, are they foiled by glasses? I tend to think not, right? Because they scan like 180 or 200 different points on the face. So, would glasses throw off facial recognition?
I don't know, but facial recognition software is pretty wild because you even use it on your Xbox One or whatever. You walk in, it knows who it labels it. Put your
Well, are ya?
A Thursday, as we are wrapping up the program, we officially head into No Sad Bro territory. Unfortunately, the weather's sad. It's going to be crappy tomorrow. Like, we're talking rain all day, and then rain in the morning on Saturday, and then after that, it kind of perks up and is okay. Upper 60s. Sunday, it completely turns around. Sunshine, 78 degrees.
So I will start my Halloween decorations.
Here we go.
And
on Sunday?
Well, I'm going to probably start them tomorrow, even in the rain.
Okay.
I'll sync my hooks in my new super duper security system. And then I will take advantage of the polishing stuff, the light setting in the warmer weather at the beginning of next week.
Okay. That's the polish.
It's very complex.
It is.
Yeah.
He can't wait another week. He can't. He got rained out last weekend.
Kids are asking.
This weekend, not as much rain, so he's doing it. He's going out.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah.
Wish you Godspeed, sir.
I want to see. The kids love it. Kids will actually ask, when is it going up? My next door neighbor, a little girl, wants, and I have some hardcore stuff, but they love it.
Doing it for the kids.
They love it for the kids. Do it for the kids.
Yep.
And a little for himself.
A little bit for himself.
Yeah.
I would like to thank our guests. We had a great conversation with Will Friedle. Yeah. Boy Meets World, and they have Pod Meets World. The Kids Want to Jump tour, and it's Saturday at the Met. And if you'd like to go check it out, if you ever watched Boy Meets World or been a fan of the many voiceover characters he's done, it was a great interview.
He was terrific. And honestly, I watching some of the shows, they've recorded a number of them. They're great. The live audience goes crazy for it.
So you can check the YouTube stream if you want to watch it back, or the podcast. And also, Peter Fasinelli was on the program.
Yes.
And he's got a movie called On Fire, which will be in theaters tomorrow, by the way. So we thank him for coming on the program. All right, we need to do our letter of the day. Case, you going to be doing that? Or
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
O, as in O-range.
That's not even a word. All right, and we're going to give away the Word of the Week prize tomorrow. 4-pack great seats. Center Orchestra, just 8 rows behind the pit seating area to see Jerry Seinfeld Friday, October 6th at 9:30 at the Met. Tickets for both shows that night are on sale now via Ticketmaster. The 7 p.m. show is nearly sold out. You can go to contest page, WMMR.com. We have another chance for you to win tickets there. And like I said, Jerry's going to be on our show next week. Pretty wild. I would like to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Duncan, and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Meineke for tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust systems, and more. Meineke, doing car care right. Like I said, no sad bro tomorrow. We will have joining us on the program comedian Ryan Hamilton, and Jake Tapper is going to be on the show.
He's got a new novel, like a mystery novel.
All right, so that and many more things that we will apply to tomorrow. Oh, Nick, yes, tonight you're out and about.
Before we skate out, tonight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., Manayunk Brew Pub. We're going to have a lot of fun with Bud Light, some awesome Bud Light specials. But the main reason to come, you can win Eagles tickets. So you have to be present to win, but come, and all you have to do is drop an entry form into a box. We'll give away those Eagles tickets before we leave at 9 p.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight, Manayunk Brew Pub.
Will you guys be Focus Money things?
We will be, yes. Probably outside.
All right. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.